What?
My wife and I often sit down and watch all of the Saw movies.
I see. I can't watch the new ones. 1 through 3 aren't bad. I think all the rest after that become kind of a little bit too corny in my opinion. Like the traps just get too simple.
Some
So
are some are better than others.
yeah.
I thought Jigsaw was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
yeah.
now I remember.
There's, I think, a
Remember.
new one coming out soon.
He's dead.
Yep.
Who's left?
You think
Fucking
that
the
stops him?
pig face or whatever the fuck his name was.
He's been following the lore. He had a bunch of apprentices. Who
No,
knows?
no, he does.
Yeah.
In the lore, he doesn't. No, so he's dead. The guy who takes on in the last movie, which is the Return of Jigsaw, I believe it was, is actually a guy who's just copycatting him. It has nothing to do with the original guy, other than the fact that he's one of the people who survived, I
If they
believe.
want to keep pumping, they can keep making copycats if they.
Oh,
really
I mean,
want.
yeah, Jigsaw is one of those kinds of, or Saw is one of those kinds of movie. It's a death trap movie. You watch for the horror. It's just like the Final Destination movies. You don't watch them
You
for the
watch it for
plot.
the shock factor.
Yeah. Final Destination still got me fucked up. I will never drive behind a lumber truck anymore, and I
No.
also have major issues with fucking what is it, elevators in my hair.
I also changed the
Well,
channel,
DM, I don't think you drive
or
anymore.
or the song when Highway to Hell comes on.
Yes, yes, right.
If I'm driving.
If you're driving and Highway to Hell comes on, you need to pull up and fucking wait a few minutes.
No, hit the gas.
No, I just skipped the song. I'm like, not today.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, I
Yo, what
I
the
feel
hell is
that.
this doing on my playlist?
It's funny. Final Destination for me, it was that and the two biggest ones I still remember from childhood that gave me the big fear were Final Destination, Resident Evil, and both are from the same trap. It's the elevator. I don't know what it is from Resident Evil's elevator collapsing like in the middle at the very beginning of it, and watching all those people like fall to their deaths, and then the one gal getting her hair stuck in and it like ripped out. That I think anybody who grew up in the '90s understands a natural healthy fear of elevators.
But what about the guy in the one Final Destination movie that got too close to the bottom of the pool and his ass got
Yeah.
stuck to the vent?
And his intestines got sucked out because the thing got clogged by a coin. Yeah. I remember the whole thing. That was fucking amazing. Oh, God, those are... The Final Destination movies, oh, man. Goddamn.
That's one hell of an enema.
That's not... You don't want to be the guy who dies that way, because at that point, he would have been better off dying at the or at the racetracks. I mean, because how do you go to a funeral now for your buddy who died from a pool enema?
But at least the morgue didn't have to do a whole lot of work to the body. All the insides were already sucked out his butthole.
Yeah, but the poor guy who had to clean the pool afterwards. You could not pay the pool boy enough for that situation. Oh man, alright. Enough with the sick twisted thought laughing today. Well, at least for that subject. Now it's time to laugh at my players' torment. Welcome back,
Oh, well,
everyone.
duty.
There we go. I'll get the Highway to Hell music playing. Alright, so yes, welcome back everyone. Last time we left off, we had an epic 3-hour fight for the party. And I think the best way to quote, or the best quote of the whole session was, "Why won't you just die?"
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
The amount of
Yeah.
times that got ushered the session was incountable at this point.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's probably also what the Orc Queen thought about me.
Yeah. The part, so to kind of give a general gist of it, if you missed last session, I highly recommend, well, you can't watch it because it's one of those sessions that's far off. But basically, last session, the party had managed to sneak in, after some deliberation, into the stronghold of the Orc Queen, where they arrived, of course, during the middle of an attack. This was prior to last session. The party had fought off, roughly, the remaining orc troops and dwarven troops that were in the hallways, mostly striking at orcs, as those few dwarves that managed to hold their ground amongst them had unfortunately perished throughout the fighting. The party would eventually, coming into the last session, end up semi-cornering Queen Quenya, who would continuously teleport back and forth between beating up Voldan and beating up Hawken. the best explanation was this truly was a almost Thanos-like intro fight for the party. It was bloody, it was brutal, it was thanks to Lucius that Hawken's still alive, and thanks to Lucius that Vol'dan technically is still alive by getting Hawken back up to save Vol'dan. So, as the party wailed and fought and struggled to their damnedest, all but the Pebble came out pretty badly beaten. I believe the Pebble and Sigaroon were the only ones who came out with a decent amount of HP left over.
I am only missing 14 health.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Meanwhile, Hawkins over here probably lost over 100 HP during last combat.
I'm
about
currently at
half.
I'm at like 20 HP out of the 142
Look,
that
to be
I
fair,
have.
every time I chased her up and downstairs, she teleported away. It was really fucking annoying.
Yeah, and no, this is one level 20 taking on 5 level 10s?
Those magic items were an issue.
Around
Yeah.
level 10.
Yeah, so she held her own. The party did pretty good. They took down Goliath. They definitely realized there's no way that Hawken could have single-handedly taken this woman down in any way. And from here on out, I feel like Hawkins definitely learned to be a bit more cautious around notable leaders when it comes to one-on-one combat.
Listen, I knew what she was about. I couldn't take this alone.
And thankfully you didn't. Otherwise, we saw what would happen because 2 of you almost died. But yeah, so the party,
Boy.
after felling between Sigrun and the Pebbles, continuous DPS on Quenya, continuous attacks, Hawken continuing to suck up as much damage, with Lucius taking the remainder of it and managing to keep his party healthy. Vol'dan did Vol'dan things, as he's not a combat character, and he keeps trying to make that very clear.
Butter daggers! Woo!
The best combat bard you could ever ask for. The only thing he didn't do is he didn't try to seduce the queen, but during mid-combat, apparently it was deemed too difficult to seduce her out of a rage.
To be fair, apparently I seduced the queen just by showing up, but she apparently wanted to keep me.
Yes.
Uh,
And didn't want Hawken, obviously.
she wanted the Pebble.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna assume no long rest.
No, so we come back to the party having just defeated the queen, having Hawken managing to grab some of the gear off of her, along with the rest of the party kind of grabbing as much as they can off of her to sell later, knowing full well any time reinforcements could come pouring into the hallways, and hearing troops moving around, you lot begin to prepare for another round of combat. As you're getting ready to maneuver, getting kind of lined up, ready, knowing full well that you're about to be in for a lot more fighting, you brace. And as you begin to get ready, Hawken reloading his cannon, Lucius continuing to maintain his hybrid form, the Pebble and Sigrun both back-to-back are ready to fight, and Vol'dan still in his full dragon form. As you guys are ready, as you hear the door kind of shaking and yelling on the other side, suddenly a blue circle appears on the floor, massively around all of you. Do any of you read Primordial and Orcish?
Just orcish for
Just-
me.
Nope.
Okay.
I don't speak no primordial.
I got celestial, but that
If
ain't
you
the
speak
same.
Orc, you can roll with just a normal D20 plus your proficiency to try and figure out what the spell says. Otherwise, I will...
All right, heard.
19.
15.
15, 19, does Lucius wish to roll as well, or is he going to let the others do it?
I don't know Orcish.
Okay. Oh, okay. Alright, fair enough. Pebble, as you roll with a 19, all you read is... You kind of notice the symbols, and it starts to kind of sink in your mind. You know if you saw this spell once more, if given a little time, you might be able to properly translate it. But all you catch is the words cursed and forgiveness before the blue light kind of shines away. Hawken, none of it makes sense to you. The dialect's just too forgotten for you.
Heard.
Was a scholar.
Yes, Pebble Cane's 2 words of it. As you guys teleport, suddenly finding yourselves back in the center hall, in the meeting hall, back in the Burnside Fort.
Okay.
You see the map room, the rest of your party kind of standing around, the Orc Queen's body kind of now laying on your map, bleeding all over it and ruining it for the most part. But it's the meeting hall's empty and it's oddly quiet.
Tag! You there?
As you shout, a few seconds go by, and then come walking out. You see a little peasant child and the bricklayer woman from earlier, Teresa, kind of like hiding the child behind her leg. She kind of comes wobbling out, and she is cuts down her all up and down her body. Her hand is missing and just completely lopped off at the wrist. She is bruised and beaten, and seems to be holding a rusted sword that's seen some definite battle. The child looks to be alright, but both look like they haven't eaten in days.
I can't do the hand, but I can at least cure her injuries with lay on hands.
Okay. How much are you going to use for lay on hands?
I'll keep pumping until I cure enough that I actually want. I'll do 8 points.
Okay. She kind of stands up a little bit and she looks at Voldan, not even caring that he's a fucking dragon, just standing in the middle of this room right now. And looks over back at Hawken, Pebble, and Lucius. As you all notice, Sigrun is nowhere to be seen either.
Pebble, you have the head, yeah?
Yeah, because I was about to hit Sigrun and then we would have gotten teleported, so I'm holding it. Well, no, it's tied to my belt Witcher style, I believe, is what I said I did.
As you smile,
so her head is-
the child
Do you
kind of
mind-
moves back.
Pebble, do you mind handing me the head real quick? I'll give it back, of course.
Okay. Yeah, I'll untie it. I'll hand it to Hawken.
Alright, time to walk outside the door out into the open.
As
You
you
want me to
do,
walk
you
first
hear
in case there's battle?
you hear Teresa go, wait, my liege, don't do that, don't open those doors.
What? What?
There's a Vorpal Mind spell cast on it. It's apologies, I'm still very tired. I haven't slept in 2 days. If the door opens, it'll go off. You'll be instantly decapitated.
Thank you.
Well, you can understand why I've left it alone. It's kept those bastards out. As soon as you left, within hours, something happened down at the Arcane Gate where Chantrell was last seen. A dragon just went flying off, and then Chantrell just came running up and started attacking, killing people with those orcs that came in earlier. He's cut down a lot of our troops. Teg's cornered up in one of the barracks with what's remaining of the troops. Teg managed to recruit another good 5,000. We're standing at 10,000, but the troops just can't manage to hold up against those orcs. I don't know where and she kind of catches her breath for a second. I don't know where Samantha went. Last I saw, she was trying to protect one of the smaller little schoolyards we had been building up, but I don't think she made it. And she kind of looks back up here, and Samantha, not very tall, this kind of middle, average height teenage Nord. She's definitely seen some pretty bad battle from what you can tell, and you can definitely see the little kid in the background. Looks like he's seen some real nasty stuff. Although he seems very distracted by Voldan, who he is now staring at with a big smile on his face, and his eyes wide.
No interest in the werebear standing in front of him, huh?
No,
I
the
don't know
giant
how to-
pink dragon lizard is what caught his attention.
Dragons.
Do you happen to know how to turn off this Vorpal spell on this door?
Chantrell's the only one who can do it. He said he would, he was blocking off the door in case you showed up. I don't know if he'll return, but the screaming has stopped about a couple hours ago. We had some people yelling and slamming on the doors, but they never made it in. She looks about. She goes, "None of your servants are alive either, unfortunately."
Hey, Pebble, if I'm correct, didn't Teg say that a bricklayer was one of our breaches of security?
He did.
She looks back at Pebble and looks back at Hawken and goes, and she kind of takes a step back and readying herself a little bit as if she looks like she's ready to scrap, and she looks at you and goes, my liege.
I feel like that's the last thing we have to deal with.
You're right. We'll figure this out later. We gotta get out of here and take back my town.
The Pebble will do his best and find a window to jump out of.
Fear not. Dispel magic works just fine.
But windows are fun.
We gotta make an entrance.
Well, more like an exit.
You could bash through the doors after I dispel it.
Good enough.
All right.
Am I allowed to dispel magic these doors?
Yeah, of course. As you go to cast, I'm just checking something real quick because Vorpal Mind is not my spell originally, so I always have to check. Alright. Okay. As you go to cast, I need what level are you casting Dispel Magic?
Third level.
Third level. As you go to cast, nothing seems to happen.
Interesting.
You can go ahead and give me a D20 plus, or wait, hold up.
Yeah, it's a D20 plus spellcaster.
I was gonna say, wait, I was reading it correctly. Yeah, give me a
Yeah.
D20 plus your spellcaster.
Plus my modifier?
Yes.
Yep.
Alright, so D20 plus 5. That's not good. That's a 9 plus 5.
14.
14.
Okay. As you go to cast, the spell kind of hits the door and starts to fizzle out, and nothing happens.
Alright, let's get another... Well, there's always that window in the kitchen that I came in the other day.
Windows! Yes!
Alright, before I do that, though, I'm gonna chug one of these potions of Supreme Healing. Because I'm pretty low on health.
Okay.
I will also.
Who needs health when you have muscle?
It's not how that works.
Pebble's
will
running for the
also-
window. The time is now.
Yeah, I'm also going to go ahead and pop one.
Okay.
So, 47.
Okay. Don't know why I have that many.
Don't worry about it.
43.
So who wants some superior potions?
The Pebble could always use more as a tank.
Alright, you can distribute them however you wish, but we need to get out of here.
Well, I have 8, so.
Yes,
I
that sounds
do.
about right.
I have more than you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 6
yours.
Supreme Healing.
Yeah, hold on to your 8 kill if we need more later.
Yeah, hold on to him, brother.
Okay.
I feel like you're going to die more often than most of us.
All right.
Okay.
So as Hawken and Lucius begin drinking their potions, getting the nice sweet taste of cherry down their gullet, Pebble.
Cough syrup.
Oh yes, Pebble. You said you're gonna try and run for a window.
I'm going to go to the window that he specifically mentioned, the one in the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah, when we get to the window, can I cast a second level Find Traps?
Yes. So as you lot begin to head into the kitchen, give me a second to find my listing here. All right. So as you lot kind of start to gather into the kitchen, looking through the window or looking at the windows, you find the one that Hawkins was able to fit through, a rather large open window large normally open window that seems to have been shut from the inside. The window itself seems to be about a good 2 feet wide and 2 feet tall, so there's a good bit of room to fit through for all but someone like Sigaroon. Lucius, you can definitely get out of there. That in your current hybrid form, there's no way you're fitting through that without something to grease you up. But as you cast,
we can shatter a wall.
there you go. As you cast Find Traps, you suddenly notice that there is a little twig that seems to have been connected to the window. That as soon as it opens, there's a delay that looks like the string goes up, and it goes up to something that comes down. From what you can tell, some sort of pulley system on the other side of the window.
This window's trapped too.
I can open it from a distance.
Sounds like a great idea. Go for it.
Everyone,
Let's all back up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of the room.
As you all back up back into the main meeting hall, Pebble, you are left alone in the room.
After getting 30 feet away, I cast Thaumaturgy, which can instantly open a door or window.
All right. As you back up, you cast it, and you wait a few seconds as the window immediately shoots open or up. A few seconds go by, and you hear something, and then, and suddenly you see a really large guillotine blade just drop and implant itself into the ground.
All right, the Pebble wins.
Pebble wins. All right, let's get a move on.
Okay. As you all head outside the window, or kind of start crawling through the window, Lucius, are you going to stay in your hybrid form, or are you going to revert back?
I will shrink down.
Okay. As you lot begin to crawl through, you come to the side of the stronghold itself. You see the plant, the different flowered bushes that have been planted throughout the month after you guys have taken, or the week after you've taken over. You can see that there's definite signs of battle from the courtyard as you see troops having been slain. Men and women in plate, leather, carrying an assortment of very basic items overall for common soldiers. And as you come around the corner, you just see as Samantha's just kind of standing there with the doors wide open, looking at you.
Samantha, really?
She just looks at you and goes, "You dispelled it, though." Did you
I didn't
not
know that.
check it after
Well, I mean, if it didn't work, I would have been dead.
Also, windows are more fun.
She's just kind of... Oh, well, I'm gonna go back inside. And she kind of turns and walks back in and closes the doors again.
Actually, wasn't Samantha the name of my...
Or sorry, Teresa. My apologies. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you guys come out to the center courtyard, you see their bodies thrown about that have been cut down. It's pretty much dead silent still, though. You hear nothing's coming from the distance. No wind, no birds, no animals of any sorts.
We go
No
to the
sounds of battle.
barracks.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, yeah.
All right, as you lot begin to head down the main road, you can see more clear areas of fighting where orcs and what looks to be some Nords had done battle. Some of the buildings haven't been burned down, many of them destroyed or caving in. You can see in the distance as you come to the main crossroad, looking down the road, where the arcane gatehouse is. There's now a massive hole in the roof, which you don't know has nothing to do with Chantrell.
You know what? Voldan, what happened when you teleported back here?
I will say this in common, because I'm assuming I'm still in the dragon form.
Yeah, you haven't changed back. You haven't said anything.
Alright. So, well, after I blooped myself back, your friend Chantrell was sitting there waiting for me. And he pulled out a crossbow, which I thought was, maybe he was a little on edge, right? Then he throws manacles at me and tells me to put them on. And I, didn't understand why, so I quickly did what I thought was the best route, which was return back to y'all, transformed into this, and flew back. I have no idea if your friend made it out alive, Though I also don't know what could have caused him to go and do this. Is he always this problem with violence?
You know,
All right.
shit just happens to me. I'll be
Easy
honest.
solution. Kill Chantrell.
Sounds plausible,
You know-
but let's go. From what we've heard, Teg's back is holed up in the barracks. Let's see if we can get him. And if there's still soldiers, we can equip him with some of the magic items that we got.
Okay.
Magic items, you say?
As you continue to jog down, Voldan's staying in his draconic form, I guess, assumedly. You lot continue at a breakneck speed, running to the gate or to this main gatehouse. Heading down, you come across more and more destroyed buildings, bodies kind of thrown about, and then you see it. The small, and I say small, it's quite large for a barracks. It's a 4-tower and box with a box in the center like shaped building that has been built into a mini fort of sorts after the recent attack on the meeting hall and the realization that the meeting hall was not the greatest place to hold up at the time after watching the 3 princes be slain. You can see the building is kind of destroyed. The towers are crumbling. Where the smell of burning can be on the air, the melting flesh kind of hitting you hard, and you manage to catch glimpses of soldiers here and there hiding within the towers and the walls themselves, shooting arrows down. As you see a small squad of around, you'd guess maybe 6-7 orcs and Chantrell continuing to like try and setting up explosives all around the barracks. Not getting it looking like they're getting ready to make their main attack as Chantrell continuously is yelling at the barrack, yelling for the cowardly demon to come out before his master returns.
Drow! Here for you!
He just suddenly you hear the shouting stops and the sounds of battle kind of calm for a second, and you see Chantrell just kind of turns, and he has the biggest, cockiest smile on his face.
I killed the queen! Now it's time for you to die! Or do you have an explanation to why my city's burning?
Does a 15 hit your AC?
No.
You watch as an arrow just kind of comes and thumps against your armor and kind of bounces off to the ground. As immediately as you finish shouting, he pulls a bow out, knocks an arrow, and immediately lets it go.
The pebble
I guess
pulls
it's
your
only
shot.
fair to return fire, right?
You gonna take an extra shot? You can get one before combat starts.
Alright, I'll do just that.
What was that? What was that pebble, by the way?
Oh shit, that's a natural 1. Am I gonna crit confirm myself immediately? Let's see.
Hunter, please.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Okay. The pebble said the pebble thinks your shot is very disappointing.
Well,
As you shout
Same.
this at him, he takes a minute and smiles as the cannon goes flying, and bolt goes flying off to the right. And he looks at you, and looks back at the party, and turns around back to the troops and goes, "Is this your king?" And he readies himself for combat.
well, he
Can
wasn't any
I-
better, I'll be honest.
What's up?
Can I step up next to Hawken before combat, put my hand on his shoulder, and I would like to, if I can, cast Warding Bond.
Oh, yeah. That'd be fun.
So, Hawken, within 60 feet of me, you have a bonus, +1 bonus to AC and saving throws, along with resistance to all damage.
Nice.
Each time you take damage, I take the same amount of damage.
Well, brother, I was building Hawken to be a close-up fighter, anyways, with ranged weapons. So you and me, brother, we're going in together. You and me, you two, Pebble, get in there. Let's get all these bonuses stacking up.
Oh, Pebble's gonna cast Giant Smite then.
Fair. All right, everyone, go ahead and roll me up some initiative. Let's see what you've got.
Advantage! Woohoo!
Pebble goes last.
That's a 12.
It's a 20 from Chantrell.
It didn't help me. It was an 11.
Okay. Before initiative is rolled, Yes, I can go ahead and do that. Let me see. That'd be a 12 to answer.
Okay.
Vuldan.
So, Chantrell is knocked prone, incapacitated, and is now laughing.
Oh no.
Legendary action, hideous laughter, DC 21.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
He has no way to stop with that. He drops to the ground and begins laughing. Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll up your initiative, Vuldan. Oh shit.
So have I ever told y'all guys about the time, about the bee?
Oh, and of
I
course,
knew I was right
The
to
pink
save
dragon?
your life.
I would say Vuldan's on 1 HP right now. By the way, he's the first.
I thought why did you drink a potion earlier?
All right, Vuldan, you're up. What would you like to do?
Okay. Well, I would like to. This is gonna. Chasten, how good is Pebble at difficult terrain?
I can deal with it. Why?
Okay. I'm going to position my head at least in a way where it's not going to affect the party. And I'm going to need every enemy within 60 feet in front of me to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Does that include your allies?
I was trying to position myself in a way where my
It's
allies would
a
not
cone,
need to make a
yeah? I
is it a
assume you're
cone?
kind of
Okay.
like
With a cone effect, from where you stand, you're only going to hit at most 4 of the orcs and Chantrell. Many of the orcs are kind of spread out along the barracks trying to set up explosives, so not many. Most of them aren't really close to each other.
Alright, that's fine. And since Suntrell is now prone, what are your rules on that?
It's an auto failure depending on what he's dealing with.
Okay. So can I get what those dex saves are?
So he auto fails his because he can't save. So that is a 17, a 20, and a 3.
All of them fail.
Oh shit! Okay, all right. What do you got?
They are now blinded for. Let me roll 2d4. They're blinded for 7 rounds.
oh shit.
Oh, all right.
As Voldan opens his mouth, and begins exhaling, bubbles begin pouring out, and they will now coat the area in a slimy terrain that will cause anyone who steps into it to potentially slip and fall.
Okay. All right, and those two you said are under the effect of blindness.
Yes, everyone who failed is now blinded for 2d4 or 7 rounds.
Okay, I'll make sure. All right, so it's disadvantage. All right, no problem. Okay. And is there anything else you'd like to do, Vuldan?
No, that'll be it.
All right,
That's the end of it.
as you watch as Chantrell just falls laughing, and the bubbles kind of spreading out, causing this difficult terrain, this strange mucus getting in the eyes of the 3 orcs that were preparing themselves for combat, as well as Chantrell, who doesn't seem to even acknowledge it as he continues to just lay on the ground laughing. We move on to the next turn. Chantrell is up, and he is just going to stand, using his his movement to get up. And as he is blind, just seeing something real quick. Okay, he is going to ready himself as he pulls out a spell scroll into his hand and begins chanting. That is the end of his turn. Next up is the orc, who is blind, who is going to charge straight forward into the what he thinks is a dragon, and since he's at half movement, due to difficult terrain, he will not make it the full 30 feet to get to Voldan.
With every 5 feet he makes, he has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Or fall prone again.
Okay, so that is... He gets 3... 2... Oh... Just gets
That sounds like a prone to me.
falls to his ass onto the first one, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Falling over, he tries to keep getting back up and move, and does not seem to move at all. Alright.
My good friend, are you having trouble?
God damn it. The second one is going to immediately cast Fly on himself, and is going to start to float the 30 feet in the air over to where Voldan is, and that will end his turn.
Smart. Flying over the bubbles. You must be smarter than the rest. But, are you smarter than a 5th grader?
The last one is just going to
fifth
chuck two javelins at where Voldan is at disadvantage. He's only got to hit once. Oh, that's a nat one. Oh no. Is he gonna die? Let's find out. Roll. Nope, that's a 10. He's fine for the first one as the javelin goes wide over the beyond the party, landing on the ground in the distance.
It's going. It's going. It's gone.
Does a 12 hit Voldan?
A 12 does not hit.
The second one goes flying further, but gets somewhat closer this time, Voldan, making you a little more nervous as Eeyore seems to be figuring out how to hone his vision without being able to see.
Maybe next time.
Alright, that is the end of his turn. The orc that is 45 feet from on the right is going to take out his wand, is going to turn and start shouting in Orcish. And I need a dex save from everyone who's not immune to fire.
Copy that.
If you're immune to fire, you don't have to make it.
28.
That saves.
Well, I got an 11.
You
That sounds
you
like a lot
saved.
of fireball, huh?
You got what? What'd you get, Lucius?
23.
Fucking damn. And Voldan. God damn. Alright, as you all manage to jump out of the way, even the very injured Voldan manages to jump away as the fireball explodes onto the ground. And the orc kind of looks confused and kind of like smacks the staff a few times. And then points it back at you lot and points it again at Voldan. And Voldan, this time it only aims for you. And due to the splitting up amongst the party, you as well as Hawken will need to make a dex save.
Okay. Well,
Two of you.
I'll make a comment first.
Hawken,
It's
26
fine, everyone
plus
misses
one.
their first time.
Oh, it's 26 anyways. And I also get the bonus from Chasten.
5. As
I
you
did
make
give him bonus
Wait.
of +4. Yeah.
As you
Wait.
make this snarky comment, Voldan, about mentioning it being his first time, you watch as Hawken graciously jumps away to the side, pirouetting in midair, his foot out and everything. It's gorgeous. And as you get distracted by the acrobatics of your new liege, the fireball goes straight to your face.
Good DM.
Yes. Do you want me to roll
Legendary
damage?
resistance. I succeed.
You fucker. I forgot I allowed you to have that.
Caleb, I'm surprised by you not drinking health potions when we were in the
When you're at 1 health.
in the keep. That seems like a misstep.
You know, it was, but here's the thing. This makes it all. It's like being on 1 health and you're fighting
No,
the
you see,
final
that's
boss.
not good.
It's not.
As
But
you kind of, as the fireball envelops you, you just kind of grit your teeth, bearing the flame as you kind of step forward, fire coming around you. The orc kind of looks intimidated and then looks down at the wand, and then you realize the lights come on. Dragons are immune to fire, and he pulls his sword out.
I will
It's
brush,
like, oh shit, you know what?
It's a
I'll
dragon.
brush my scales. Common knowledge, man.
The other one, as that ends that orc's turn, the other one immediately casts Cloud of Daggers right where you're standing.
Bet you wish you drank a potion now, huh, punk?
And you hear in Orcish, those who understand it, it looks like you're not so big and bad after all. And
Hey, I'm the big and bad one here.
The not big, but very bad one.
So first time on your turn, as well as... Okay, so spell first time. Okay, so that will be 4d4 worth of damage.
He just goes down.
I go down, but before I do,
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to stay in Draconic, knowing that only maybe 2 people will be able to hear me. That's fine. I'll just go and finish my tea before I come back.
I hate you so much, Caleb.
And then Chantrell just suddenly, you just see... Or, not Chantrell, Voldan, you just see his daggers kind of come out of the clouds and just start stabbing into him, and he just drops to the ground immediately. The orc seems less impressed now, as it looks over at Hawken.
Hey, listen, I don't know what this guy's talking about, you know?
And it chucks a javelin at Hawken for 13 for it to bounce right off of him.
No, sir!
Alright.
Smacks it out of the air.
And Chantrell is actually going to use his one and only ability that he gets bonus-wise. And Lucius, I need a con save.
Okay. That's a nat 20 for a 22.
I don't need a con save any longer. For a moment, you feel yourself kind of feeling somewhat woozy in your head, Lucius, but as you start to kind of realize it, it just fades away, and you see a little nick on one of your fingers that seems to be just slightly bleeding this strange green coloration of liquid.
Wow.
All right, well, that is the end of Chantel's one legendary thing he can do. Hawken, you are up, my man.
So Chantrell's still mouthing off on a spell, yeah?
Yes.
Great. I'm going to use a funny spell called Silence over him.
As you do, you just all suddenly hear as it goes silent for a minute, and he kind of opens his eyes and looks about, and realize, and you can kind of tell he can't see anything because he's blinded. Wait, is that spell still in effect, or is it concentration will down?
Well, the blind thing I believe is a breath, so it's just soap in his eyes.
Is it just breath rolled in?
Yeah.
Yeah, my it's
sure.
bubble breath.
It lasts, 7 turns, yeah?
Okay, want to make
No,
sure.
we're blinded for 7 turns. Yes,
Yeah,
this
so
stuff
he-
is
he
going to be
didn't
around for
focus
10
on-
minutes.
It's just not concentration.
As he
Yeah.
kind of starts to feel around, you notice that he seems kind of confused, as if he's noticed something's going on, but the spell seems to go off.
Alright, cool, so, that's fine. Since I'm not gonna move, I'll use, this funny thing called a gun to shoot him.
Alright. Go ahead and take your shot.
Does a 20 hit Chantrell?
It does.
Alright, initial damage, 17.
Okay. As
And
you
then,
as that cannonball goes flying down onto him, I'm gonna actually have him make a strength check.
do you also want the 5d8 force?
Yes.
31.
You watch as as you launch that cannon. For a moment, you see as the ball slams into Chantrell. For just a split second, as he seems to catch it and push himself out of the silent spell from the force. The cannonball, just with his momentum, continues pushing through, and you watch as it just obliterates and smushes the body into a fine red mist that explodes off.
Traitor!
And then you see him reform suddenly, just as soon back to full health.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to use War Priest to do it again.
As he comes back and he's just holding the cannonball, he looks up at you and goes, and you know now he can see you, and you just see the annoyance in his eyes.
God damn it! Again! Death! Does an 18 hit him?
An 18 does not, as this time you watch as he just seems to push the ball to the side as it slams into the ground, and he kind of steadies himself on the ground.
Rip it! Wait, wrong one.
All right. Is there
and-
anything else you can do? You want to do, Hawken?
Unfortunately, since I used War Priest... Oh, I have 2 attacks per action. I could do it again!
Round 2.
Once more! 20!
That is.
Initial damage! 18!
All right.
And for the 5d8 force damage... 22! And don't worry! Wait, no, he's not technically initially damaged anymore, so I can't use Colossus Slayer.
He kind of stands up, or he kind of takes the cannonball, it slams into him. It hits him hard, and you see as he kind of breath coming out, blood spews out. He grabs the cannonball and kind of moves it to the side as he kind of catches his breath, and he is just breathing heavy. You see that blood coming out. There's definitely some internal bleeding, and he just smiles at you, Hawken, with a big bloody toothy smile.
What the hell is this guy? Alright, well, that's all I can do.
Alright. Lucius, you are up.
All right. Where is the closest orc?
Currently,
Right next to Voldan, right?
about 10 feet in front of Voldan on the ground. Trying to pull at his eyes as there's like soap in his eyes. After he slipped and fell twice.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk up to that one.
Oh no!
Oh,
you
that
move the
poor
extra
boy.
5. You move 10 feet, which uses 20 feet of your movement because of the difficult terrain.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and swing the Toothless Beholder.
Okay.
Is that advantage since
Yeah.
he's prone?
And he can't see you? Yeah, go ahead. This is
Well, I rolled a nat 20.
Oh no.
I did not confirm. So we will double the damage.
Alright, sounds good.
Oh, that sucked. That's 12 piercing and 12 piercing, so 24 piercing and 6 fire.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, as you slash into him, the orc kind of freaks out as suddenly he's just being beaten from somewhere he can't see, and seems to kind of put his hands up in defense as you continue striking at him. And yeah, no resistance as he as you cut deep into his skin.
And then if I needed him to make a wisdom save, would it be an auto fail?
No, he does have a shot.
Okay. I need a wisdom
That's
save.
a 12.
Okay, so he fails. I'm using my cantrip Toll of the Dead.
Okay.
And since he has taken damage, I get to roll d12s instead of d8s.
Oh no.
So that is...
Get him!
You all hear the bells tolling in the distance suddenly as Lucius begins casting this spell.
That is 22 necrotic damage.
Jesus. Yeah, as you suddenly, as the bells start to ring, the orc just feels like its body gets weak, and you all watch as the orc's body slightly pales a little bit, as you can feel the necrotic energy kind of surging off of Lucius. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Lucius?
Set out on a quest.
Voldan is down, right?
Yeah,
I got-
he's
Yeah.
completely unconscious.
Right.
I'm not close to him, though, correct?
You
No.
are now 10 feet from him.
Okay. Well, then that is my turn since I moved.
Okay. All right. Wait, did the? Oh, there you are. Okay. It's because you don't have a picture. I forgot. I didn't see you pop up. Okay. So one of the orcs that was you saw on the corner of the tower immediately starts to chant, and he casts teleport, and ends up appearing right next to Voldan. And he immediately, you see, pulls out his sword and just starts stabbing Voldan. So that will be well, he's got to see if he can hit your AC.
-6 on his attack.
11 to hit Voldan's AC.
No.
I don't believe so.
God damn it.
That was the only time I could do that, Voldan. I'm sorry.
It's a good thing I rolled two
It's
11s, basically, so he's fine. And the orc looks down as he tries to stab and misses twice on the giant dragon, and looks back over at Lucius, who distracts him for a moment and just glares at Lucius. And that will end his turn. The orc war chief, who sees the dragons down, is also going to burn his teleportation spell and is going to teleport right behind Voldan, and is going to start stabbing him with a spear.
Yo, what are you doing back
If
there?
I could
what
roll!
Are you doing, Steph?
There we go! Finally!
What are
As
you doing,
feel it
Steph, bro?
pierce, slash, or stab right into you, Voldan, you take one failed death.
Are they in the cloud of daggers now?
They will be, yes. Or this one is now, because of where he is standing. So he will take
now
the
take damage.
HP, or the damage, which is 4d4. Because he can't move or leave at this point. And I rolled a lot, 3 1s and a 4. Alright. So 7 points of damage, and that ends his turn. Pebble, with your glorious 5 in initiative. Not the lowest, but you're up. What would you like to do?
I heal Voldan for 22 health with lay on hands.
Okay, as you turn and put your hands down on Voldan, Voldan, you heal up. You begin to feel this surge of holiness come from within you.
All right, now this orc just teleported, so he's within 5 feet of me too, right?
Yes, 2 of them are correct.
Glorious, the time is now. I will start swinging, because why not?
Oh no.
Go anyway, started blasting.
Yeah, here we
22
go.
to hit?
Yeah, that hits. Which one are you hitting? The one that stabbed Voldan in the ass, or the one that failed to stab Voldan in the side?
Yeah, the one that stabbed him in the ass.
Okay.
Let's see. So that's 10. That's minimum damage. That's plus a d6, which is 5 for Giant's Might Bludgeoning.
Oh, okay. As you slash into the orc, it looks a little surprised as you pull out your sword and start attacking.
I do find it funny you have an anti-Voldan weapon right in your hand.
I do.
And you're attacking
Look,
an
I
orc
picked
really
this
close
before-
to him.
I picked this before I met Voldan. This is my starting weapon. I swing again.
Oh, shut up!
That's a 27.
Yeah, that hits.
And that's 13 slashing.
Okay. As you slash
Voldan, you're on thin ice.
into that orc, going back and forth at he still in utter shock as you pull out this great sword and completely left our guard. You see as he gets ready to ready his own great axe for the next round of combat.
Yeah,
I
the
thought
pebble
you were a
shouts,
monk.
the pebble shouts, "You fight me now."
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Pebble?
Shield of faith myself.
All right. As you shout this, you hear a, and you see as you all turn with your passive perception, the biggest green orc you have ever seen at 485 pounds, around 14 feet tall. This orc is just tall and wide. Nothing but muscle, and he comes running, charging at top speed, and goes aiming straight as he's going towards the pebble for a moment. And as he's getting ready to look like he's about to ram the pebble, he turns and starts charging towards Lucius.
He's only a foot taller than me.
Slippy
Right?
Roo? Slippy
and he is going to make a dex save to see if he is going to fall on his ass. Oh, fuck me. And as he turns to try and go and attack Lucius, you all watch as this mountain of a man goes feet up in the air from underneath him and head down onto the ground, slamming into the ground and knocking himself over. And you just hear the biggest...
The harder they fall.
I gotta ask. Since he was sprinting at me and trying to be going, does he slide right in front of me?
No, because he turned before.
I was about to say opportunity attacks anywhere?
From this, he's going to try from a prone point to stab at Lucius with his spear. For a 16 to hit, Lucius. As you kind of
That's
hear,
my AC.
Yeah, as you hear this orc fall behind you, just kind of turning, and as the spear comes up at you, kind of turning just at the last second, avoiding it, the spear manages just to miss you, as this impressive orc is behind you.
Do I get an opportunity attack?
You know what? Sure, why not? We'll give it to you.
Sweet.
Let's see what you got.
All right. Is that advantage since he's prone?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
that would be correct.
That's a 17 plus 13, so that would be a
Yeah, that hits.
30?
Yeah.
20? Math is hard.
No, that's
I
a
don't
30.
know.
You're good. That hits.
That is 17 piercing and 4 fire.
All right. As you turn to return the favor back, slamming into him, he takes the hit and kind of bounces off the ground slightly and looks up and just looks at the rest of the party as if confused for a moment. And that ends his turn. No worries. Sigrun is not here. Boldan, back to the top of the order.
So guys, you're really not gonna believe this. I had this great drink when I was dead, but
Oh my god.
Shut up!
I know. I'll drink one of my potions of healing superior.
Okay. Perfect. Go ahead and roll that up.
+4, so I heal 19.
Not bad. All right. As you take
Wait,
strong
superior
drink.
and it's 19?
His rolls
It's a-
were a lot of low ones, my man.
Well, because what?
Yeah.
It's also plus 20?
Oh, sorry, I don't know why I said +4. It's +8. So
Superior plus 8, yeah.
I was gonna say he rolled a lot of ones in that one.
I thought he said supreme, not superior. That's why I got really confused why he said 19.
Oh, that's fair. All right. As you down it, the taste of it kind of hitting the back of your throat. It's somewhat acidic, but in the midst of combat, very forgettable.
we should really look at the changes. Test. Closest orc to me. I was about to call it a goblin.
Would be the current, would be either the one that's been stabbing you, that stabbed you in the ass, or the one that's standing on your side trying to stab into you.
If it helps, Pebble's stabbing the one that stabbed you in the ass.
Well, I don't appreciate getting stabbed in the ass,
What about
but
the one that casted fly? Where's that one at?
At the top of the order. He goes right before Hawken.
I think he meant more.
Oh, in reference to where he is technically straight in front. He would be in front of Boldan at this point,
Okay.
okay.
floating.
I would like to multi-attack him, the
Okay.
one that's floating.
All right.
So. Wait a second.
You good?
Yeah, 30, or I rolled a natural 20
Nat
for
20.
the first bite attack.
Okay. Roll to
making it
confirm.
33. Okay.
Also, am I not? Did your roll stop showing up on my counter?
That's an at one.
Okay, so no.
Well, so you didn't confirm.
Yeah, it's just no confirm kill. Okay, no worries. So
Alright.
you can either double the dice or double the damage roll.
I'll double the damage.
Okay.
Okay. Wrong guy.
Yeah, that is weird. Okay. There it is. Okay.
15 plus 8 for the first one.
15 plus 8, that is 23.
All right, and then I need him to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Give me a minute. And what was the damage type, just out of curiosity?
Since it's a bite, I would assume
Okay,
it's
piercing.
piercing.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it tells it.
That is a 7 for a dex save. This orc is not very dexterous, even when flying.
All right. Well, this orc is now going to be blinded for an additional 2 turns.
Yeah.
God damn it! Stop fucking blinding!
And
he
now
sees the orc just starts to panic as the lights go out for him, and he just starts freaking out and thrashing about, shouting and panicking in Orcish.
All
What-
right. Now,
Nice.
the
I understand that.
Second melee attack is a 8 plus 13.
Oh, 8 plus 15?
8 plus 13.
8 plus 13, that's
21.
21, thank you. That does hit. Go ahead and roll up your damage.
All right. That is going to be 12 damage.
Okay.
And then the last clawing attack.
As you slash at him one more, alright, let's see what you got.
A 13
I-
plus 13.
What was it? Plus what? Plus
26.
13?
13 plus
26.
13.
That hits, yeah. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right, 2d6 plus 8. Fuck. 20.
20. As you go and slash into him, biting at this orc, slashing at the cause of blindness starts to freaking panic him as his body starts to get torn into this dragon. Go ahead and roll an intimidation check as the orc begins to freak out and begins panicking.
17.
You notice as the orc is starting to lose his will to fight and looks like he's ready to run, freaking out that he's both blind and feeling as you're slashing into him, leaving massive deep wounds across his body. The orc looks terrified. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Voldan? You've multi-attacked, spell attacked.
Well, since I was unconscious for any spells that may have gone off, I can't do anything of that nature, so that'll
Alright.
be the end of my turn.
Okay. As the dragon continues his assault, Chantrell is finally up. And you see as he kind of grabs a potion from his pocket and kind of downs it. And immediately you see as he looks like he's fully healthy again.
Man.
And kind of like starts rubbing at the crap in his eyes. And you finally see him roll or cast something. Is the blindness that's your breath weapon? Does it count as a magical effect? Does it say?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna
I
assume.
think it's like, I can't think, because essentially I believe it's what, just soap in his eyes?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
So he is going to still cast Dispel Magic, thinking that it'll do something. As you watch as as he kind of casts, the spell goes off, and he kind of continues to rub his face, confused.
So what's going on?
And he goes, "God, damn demon worshippers!" And you hear him kind of getting flustered for a minute. And as he's not going to move, he
I am
is
offended.
going to grab something out of his pocket, and he starts to kind of what looks to be like feel across it, and begins reading out another chant.
Another one?
The pebble worships no demons. The pebble only worships himself.
I'm
As you
not
shout this, he
demon
ignores you.
worshiper.
That is the end of his turn. The orc, who is still blinded and has not managed to move whatsoever, is going to open up its teleportation scroll and is going to leave, as he is not being paid to fight dragons, and you watch as he vanishes.
My friend. To see you
understand.
around again.
Alright, and the orc on the ground that has been beaten just badly by Lucius is at disadvantage as he is blind, going to start stabbing Lucius with his longsword.
Is this the giant orc on the ground? Or
No, this is the one that
everyone?
he just started beating that was in front of him.
Oh, heard.
Wow. 15 to hit, Lucius?
No.
Oh man, as the first attack goes wide, as he just kind of swings it in the air back and forth. And then rolling a 9, manages to swing even further wildly, thinking he's going to hit something. Nothing happens. And it kind of goes quiet, or it kind of continues to sit there for a second. And realizing its situation, you kind of feel it pulling for something. And it begins to pull out its scroll, and it teleports out.
I'm out of here. I can't
Just-
do this anymore.
I just roar in bear. Pussy!
He vanishes away. All right. The floating orc, who's now basically on the ground. Not the floating orc. The one in the background who is also still blind and didn't try to move. Is going to immediately looking at the situation, you notice it kind of fiddling with something in its hand, a strange like rock, and someone pick a number between 1 and 4.
3.
All right,
Oh,
3 it is.
Nice.
Pebble, you suddenly hear a word or a voice in your head in very broken common go, "Run! Run, please! Please run!" And it just goes silent after a second.
Pebble's sitting here like, I know orc. He didn't have to. Okay.
And you suddenly all look, as you're all kind of in the midst of combat, you see as that orc, for those who are paying attention to it as it cast message, its head just suddenly leaves its body, drops to the ground.
Oh.
Am I?
And that is the end of its turn. Alright.
Well, that's just a cruel joke.
Another one
You know,
who's...
I wonder if he's trying to warn us about Chanterelle or something like that, but, I'm just going to ignore that.
Another orc is going to do this. Is going to ready his attack, and yet again, you are all going to see as his head just disappears, and the orc drops to the ground. That is its turn.
Well, that sounds fun.
And then lastly, the poor orc that is now floating, having just been beaten or being chewed on and slashed at, cancels the concentration on its spell, is going to make a dex save to see if it falls on its ass. What was the save for that? 20?
Let me check. For
thought it was
something
21.
on your ass, it's 21.
Oh yeah! As soon as he falls, immediately falls, and you watch as the orc seems to panic and reaches for its like back pantaloon pocket and pulls out a soggy piece of paper, and you just see the color in this orc's face go fucking pale. The realization of the soggy piece of paper.
I kind of feel like almost bad, but he kind of attacked my town, so he's going to get killed anyway, but...
And
The Pebble always only feels pride in himself.
that will end his turn. Hawken, as you look on, you can hear Teg from inside shouting something. Give me a perception check. Everyone else actually, in fact, give me perception checks to see if anybody can catch what he's saying.
That's only a 14 on my end.
It's hearing based, you say?
Yes, hearing based is correct. And as he is a tiefling, technically he is related to Fiend.
The Pebble rolled a
21.
Okay, 17, 14, 21. Okay.
Perception as in the sense of hearing him or being able
Yes,
to see him.
hearing him.
It's gonna 6. I got blind sight. I got a 9.
That blind sight didn't help.
Yeah.
Pebble with a 17, and Lucius, you said you got a 21?
Yeah.
The both of you hear shouting, saying, "Get away from Chantrell now!" Coming from inside the stronghold as it sounds like Tag is running towards the doors.
Okay. Yep.
Alright, Firecrest, it is your turn.
Can Pebble
Okay.
tell Hawken that Tag's shouting for us to get away from him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hard copy. I'm gonna see if I can cast Hold Person on Chantrell.
As you go to, what's the DC for?
17 Wisdom.
Needs to be 17 wisdom. Alright, fuck, he's a mine. you catch him. He doesn't.
All right, let's get out of here.
As you start to turn and run, Hawken, does whole person make the person come with you?
They're paralyzed.
No, he's just
No.
stuck there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you turn and run, Hawken.
I was told to run by my boy Teg.
Okay. So full
He
movement
knows
speed?
what's up. Yep. I will spend my full 30 to back away from Chantrell.
Yeah, as you start running back as fast as you can, you hear a rumbling. All of you do. Something's coming, and you're not sure from what direction. Even with the perceptions you all rolled. Okay. Lucius, you hear Pebble say this, and you heard Tag. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm standing in the slippery stuff, so I can only move 20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
But I will go ahead and use my action to dash
Okay.
once I'm off the slippery spot. So
Okay, yeah, you move the 10 feet off away from the soaked ground. Go ahead and does Dash ignore penalties to terrain or no? I don't think it does, but I always like to double check.
No, it doubles your current speed.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a dex save then. And you'll have to do this twice.
16.
You fail on the first one. As you turn to run, you slip and fall, and are knocked prone to the ground.
Yeah, it's not too healthy.
That is that's the technically first 10 feet of your movement. It will take half your movement to stand up, and then for every 5 feet of movement you move, you'll have to do the dex save again.
Okay.
Getting a DC 21. So, what else would you like to do? Anything else, Lucius? As you find yourself on the ground now, having used some of your movement.
I'm going to cast Create Water and cause it to rain.
Alright, as you cast Create Water sitting on the ground, the water starts to trickle down and it starts to make the terrain, after the next round, the terrain will no longer be difficult. However, as you do this, your entire party notices there are invisible figures all around you that the rain is hitting and not hitting the ground. And each of them seem to be roughly about the size of about a normal orc, from what you can tell. Some sort of humanoid, slightly muscled. Could be a Goliath just as much. But they seem to be completely invisible from what you guys can tell. Unless you have tremor sense. Does anybody?
I see what this is. It's War Plan Green going into effect.
Hawken does not know that.
I know Hawken doesn't know it, but I know it.
Alright, I'm gonna assume none of you have tremor sense.
I have blind sight. That's it.
Okay. Really? Pebble doesn't have tremor sense?
No, Sieko has it because of a unique racial thing.
Yeah, that's fair. Alright. Yeah, as you all just kind of, as the rain starts to pour down, starting to remove the soap. Okay. Lucius, that is in action. As one of your attack actions, your movement, some of your movement. Did you want to do anything else?
I did want to stand up. I think you said that was movement.
Yes, it uses half of your movement. Yeah, your total movement. So that'd be it'd take 20 feet of your speed to basically do it.
I'm not going to slip again. Did that orc that fell, is it on the ground near me?
The big one, yeah, he's right beside you. As you stand up.
Use him as a bridge.
You gonna step on him? He will be considered difficult terrain. I'm letting
Actually,
you
I
know.
was just gonna be pissed off and beat on him.
Oh, okay, that works too, yeah. You wanna take a swing? You still got one more attack action.
Wrestling
Well, I rolled a nat 20.
Oh no.
I did not confirm.
Alright, double the dice, double the damage.
I will double the damage.
Okay.
Huh. The famous sport, orcish soap wrestling. Not to be confused with Turkish oil wrestling.
No,
32 piercing and 16 fire.
Okay. Yeah, as you just turn, or you kind of, like, as you cast the spell and then stand up, turning, the orc kind of looks up at you for a moment, and, just kind of looking up at you for a second, looks concerned, and as you kind of grab out your weapon and begin to stab into him, he just looks up in shock and utter fear and anger for a moment. And you hear in Orcish, "You lazy bastard!"
I hear nothing.
I do.
Okay. Is there anything else? So you used so far 30 feet of your movement and 2 actions, or two attack actions.
Yeah, that I'm just gonna stay there and wait for it to clear up.
Okay. The next orc is going to stand, kind of stand back up. Now that it's the rain is coming down, and looking through it, it's going to grab out its staff or its little wand again. It's going to point it over at Hawken, who's 30 feet away, and it's going to light off a fireball. I need a dex save from Hawken.
Isn't it raining?
Does a 25 save me?
It does. As the fireball goes wide, you will still take half damage.
Heard.
Give me a second to find my damage.
What level is it?
It's only... Give me a second, because I've also got to find my notes. It is... For this orc... Wow. Okay, it's only
How
third
long
level.
was
What?
the rain from the create water doesn't affect the fireball?
No. It does not, and the rain will take effect after the round of combat.
Okay.
So 8d6, not 8d8. It's a little more damage. That is in total with the save, 13 points of fire damage after once it's halved.
Vibes.
As the fireball goes launching off, and the orc just kind of looks disappointed for a moment as you jump out of the way. And then you just see as the orc's head is completely removed from its body as it drops to the ground.
We're playing green!
Lucius was nowhere near getting hit, but some reason his arm hair is singed.
It takes a minute.
Yo, I understand that feeling, brother. I work in a kitchen.
The war chief that you've just beaten on Lucius kind of takes a minute as he's like bleeding and like injured. He kind of stands up and now towering over you. He pulls off his great axe off to the side. It like lets it slam into the ground, it tanks, and then he lifts it up over his head and just brings it down as hard as he can. And he's doing a called shot to your head, which gives you an extra 5 AC. Oh no.
No shot.
Oh!
That's a close one. That's a little close for comfort.
He is going to double whatever he rolls, which is going to be in total 11 points plus an extra 1. So that
Who's
is
this
20.
towards?
This is towards Lucius from the orc he just stabbed into, who stood up, the massive orc that fell on its
What
ass.
is Lucius's AC with the additional 5?
21.
21.
So,
And it got 26.
heard.
Yeah. So you take 22 points of slashing damage, 23 points of slashing damage as the blade comes slamming down, or the axe comes slamming down onto you, Lucius, kind of causing your entire body to ring back. You've got a nice big split in your head right now, and you are not feeling great. The Orc War Chief ends his turn because that's all he can do. Pebble, you are up.
Yeah. Hunter, how much does Hawken weigh plus all of his equipment?
Okay, so Hawken has a current inventory weight of 171, and Hawken himself weighs 200, so it'd be 371.1 pounds.
Alright, easy enough. How far away is Hawken from me? How far did he get?
He would have made it. He went his full movement, which was 30 feet from you, so he'd be 35 feet from you.
If I start sprinting by him with my incredibly increased strength and size, can I pick him up and keep running?
I mean, if he doesn't resist.
Hunter, will you resist?
I don't know if I want to abandon my boys, though.
Well, I can't do this for Lucius because until the turn ends, he's in soap, and I don't want to slip when I try to get him.
Just fall back to where I am, unless you just want to go a bit further. I plan on at least laying some covering fire for him. I can't be too far away.
I can only stab things, so I'll just go full speed away.
Okay. So you're just gonna go full 35 feet back?
Full 60. Just
60 feet. All right, yeah. As you start running down the road, you manage to get far down the road, and as you kind of start heading down, you see there's an army walking into the city. As you come back up to closer towards the main crossroad, you can hear clattering of boots. Heavily armored people walking and talking in common. It seems to be a general. What you can hear sounds to be joking and happy, and like what you'd expect to hear from like traveling soldiers, off in the distance.
Pebble, not knowing who the friends are, will plant his sword into the ground, kind of like a sentinel waiting.
Okay. All right. Give me one sec. That Orc War Chief, who's didn't end up getting his attack of opportunity on the Pebble after he ran, decides to instead is going to poke Voldan in the ass once more. Does a 17 hit Voldan?
I don't consent. No, it does not hit.
He rears back and tries again as he continues to stab at your draconic scales and not pierce you. But as you turn to look, as soon as you do, it's missing its head.
This is a cruel joke.
All that stands left for a moment is Chantrell left standing, and that one Orc War Chief.
He's still blind.
Yes. The Orc War Chief, Lucius, you get a quick second to try and take a shot to finish him off. Would you like to take your shot?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what you got.
He's standing, right?
Yes.
You matched up.
31.
That hits. Go ahead and roll up your damage.
Okay. So it was 19 piercing and only 2 fire.
Don't worry, the piercing killed him. As you just turn and stab into the orc, finishing him off. For just a moment, everything kind of goes quiet. As you are all kind of looking around, and you see Chantrell cursing and yelling, and the last orc kind of that is left standing and kind of barely conscious kind of just falls over as you notice for a second, dead completely out. The dark clouds seem to kind of start to formulate around the city. You notice the entire city is kind of becoming more and more stormy. Rain starts coming down even heavier as the crate water seems to expand out almost. Thunder and lightning can be both seen and heard suddenly. And you see for a second, Chantrell just kind of stands back up. He looks at Hawken and he smiles at Hawken for a moment. And you see as he pulls something out of his mouth and he kind of rips it out and he looks at Hawken and he goes, "You know, my liege, before these orcs kill me, I just want you to know, I'm the one who led that man to Lucius's kid and wife. I'm the one who stalked him down and made sure he died. And he starts to laugh as you watch, as he gets to go bite into this thing that he pulled out of his mouth, and immediately his head comes clean off, and he just drops to the ground, and the storm continues on.
I wanted to kill him. Damn. Is this a funny storm? Like, or...
No, you see as it's heavy, the rain's coming down hard. It's pouring, the tinkering, the sounds of it hitting metal, slamming into the ground. It's getting thick, the mud picking up.
I want to go to Chanterelle.
If it's mine, it's only in a 30-foot cube, though.
Yes. Yours immediately dissipates after the round as we leave combat, and the rest of the storm takes over, and you see... just as suddenly the orcs that were, or the invisible creatures that would stand there, all these orcs just suddenly appear, all to be only like 4 feet tall and maybe 100 pounds. As you see each of them come out, and this like really feisty looking orc female, who with long black hair, big green eyes, kind of wipes off her blade as she's kind of standing behind Chanterelle. We'll get to that in a moment. Pebble, as you're as you're kind of standing there with your sword in the ground, prepared, ready for whatever may come for the near future of combat. You hear these troops begin to they're continuing to march. They may sound high-spirited, but you don't know any of these people, so you have no idea as they turn and come around the corner. For a moment, you kind of wonder who that could be, and then you smell the strong scent of pickled apples and peaches, as well as the sigil of a what looks to be a bottle of yellow liquid on a brownish background coming down the walkway. You recognize this. This is the House of Calbridge. These are allies.
Oh, thank God.
As an army of what you probably guessed to be around 20,000 comes around the corner, led by 4 elite troops and the local lord of the House of Calbridge coming marching down. We'll come back to you momentarily, Pebble. Hawken, Lucius, and Voldan, you now see as these orcs just kind of stand there, rain coming down their face, the sounds kind of being drowned out by the heavy rainstorm, not hearing the distant metallic boots coming in your way. Teg comes kind of marching out, angry as all hell, as the doors burst open, troops kind of following behind him, all with crossbows still at the ready. And Teg comes kind of walking out, full still in his normal merchant suit, and walks, kind of looks down at the head and looks over at the orc woman, looks back at Hawken, then looks at Lucius and Voldan and goes, "Well, fuck.
You doing all right, brother?"
I ain't dead." Ugh.
Nor are we, as it appears. It's been a long day, hasn't it?
Yeah. Hey, who the hell? And you just, as he turns to look at the orc woman, they're gone. He just looks back at you and goes, "What was that about? Lucius, what was he talking about? You're leading some guy to your wife and kid? You were a family. Or you didn't have a family. I thought you were just a bodyguard."
I would rather not talk about it.
Fair.
Can I,
Yes.
grab one of the javelins on the ground and put Chanterelle's head on the spike?
Sure.
Can I
Yeah.
use some of this?
As you go to do so, give me a strength check. Just to see how hard you have to kind of push it onto there.
13. But, Yeah, no, it's just a check.
As you pick it up, you kind of start to shove it onto there. It's not clean, it ain't pretty, but Chantrell's head is on the spike.
I'm gonna hand it to Tag and just put it on display. Put a sign on that says traitor.
Alright, sure. Yes, my lord. And he kind of turns and starts walking back into the barracks as you see him kind of going about working on something. As Voldan hands Lucius one of his superior potions of healing. As a few moments go by, as you lot are kind of looking down and contemplating the combat, the sound of the rain kind of getting heavier and heavier. You all start to pick up on the sound of metal and being like clinging against metal as water would hit it hard. And around the corner, you see as Pebble comes leading an army of fully armed men, women of all sorts, all Nords, and 4 unique generals as well as a lord who's come walking up.
All right, and I guess I'll go to meet them with the Queen of the Orcs' head as well with me.
Okay. Lucius and Voldan, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow with Hawken.
Okay. And Voldan?
I will change back to my Dragonborn appearance
Okay.
and then follow, because I don't know what may happen if they see a giant dragon.
Alright. So as you kind of turn around to see these guys and get a real good look at them, Pebble, who's been kind of joking and laughing with them along the way, has already figured out that 3 of the generals are of no real significance as he's kind of gotten a feel for them talking to them. The 4th, however, being a very skinny man in bright gold armor that looks like it's seen a lot of wear and tears. It's got a lot of beatings and like cracks throughout it. They have what looks to be like a bit of long brownish hair that sticks out in a very fine braid that goes down to the middle of their back. They carry what looks to be a simple long sword or a simple short sword on their belt. And look to be pretty respected, whereas the other 3 generals, who are, most of them are towering over 6 feet and all look to be mountains of men of muscle and combat capabilities. Pebble, even with your passive perception, you can kind of catch that the last general's probably seen combat a few times. These other 3 look like they're just guys who talk about it a lot, not as much experienced as you can guess. The king, however, or the lord rather, of House Calbridge, who you don't catch the name of, and he never seems to introduce himself, has got this thick brown hair that kind of comes over his shoulders and down to around his mid-chest, big green eyes, large handlebar mustache going down, and he is just a girthy man about, you'd probably guess, 250, 300-ish, standing about 6 foot, and he is wide. He is not muscular. But something catches your attention, Pebble, as you notice the axe on his back. It's both enchanted, as you can there's tons of runes all over it, but it looks really heavy for someone his size. You can't tell what the materials are from just a glance, but you'd guesstimate that this guy's maybe a little bit more than what you'd expect. But as they come around the corner, Lord Calbridge kind of walks over, and the generals kind of follow as Pebble kind of follows along with them, and he goes, "My dear," as he slams his stomach, the sounds of the plate on his stomach kind of echoing throughout, being drowned out by the distant thunder. And he goes, "My dear boy Hawken, how are you doing? I haven't seen you since you were a wee lad."
Do I know who this man is?
You don't remember him. You know that House Calbridge was close to the Windsors because of the fact that they made some of the best alcohol in the land, and they were really close with the dwarves, which is where a lot of the material came through. So House Windsor's done a lot of trade with them. Personally, all you know is that they like to make alcohol without a history check.
I recognize that brand sigil anywhere. You would have had a lot more fun if you arrived earlier, but you're here all the same. Welcome to my, humble abode, as I'd say.
You know, you Windsors, you always lose in your house one way or another. Was this the second time this city's been attacked?
Something or another, but hey, we're still here.
Well, it got me real convinced I chose good allies there, my liege. As he kind of turns and gives a wry smile to his men, who seem to laugh it off. Anyways,
You want to see the recent prize that we took?
I mean, why not? If you got something of interest, I imagine you haven't managed to accomplish much.
I'll throw the Orc Queen's head at him, like at his feet.
As you toss it, and he looks down and he goes, "Well, I see the war's over, I guess. Lord Aez is going to be very disappointed that he doesn't get to kill more orcs."
It is quite a shame. But there's always more fighting to be had. We'll see what comes next.
Huh. Well, my men are here. If you don't mind, I'll put them to work. You got a Castellion, or you got a Man-at-Arms, some sort of head of your troops around here?
That would be Teg.
Perfect. And he shouts out Teg's name, and Teg suddenly just appears from a shadow behind Voldan for a moment, and jumping out of Voldan's shadow and goes, without even a sense or sound, goes, "Ah, yes, I will get the men in order and continue. My lord, my liege, if I may I borrow Lucius and Pebble for a moment?"
If they wish to go with you, I have no problems with it.
He turns to the two of you and looks and goes, "If you wouldn't mind, I have managed to gain some information, or reawaken, let's say, our patient," as he looks down at Chantrell's corpse, and that he's prepared for questioning. I figure, my dear Lucius, you may wish to speak to him, and Pebble, if you wouldn't mind being there just in case, to sense any divine capabilities coming from something that might want to protect him and his undying soul.
Yeah, the Pebble will nod. All along.
He looks back to Lucius and waits to see if Lucius says anything.
Lead the way.
He nods and goes, "I appreciate it." And he looks to the Lord once more and goes, "I'll have your troops taken care of momentarily. Feel free to have them stay here and enjoy your time with my liege. Your troops are in good hands." As he turns to head back into the barracks.
Is Chantrell still on the ground?
The body is, but not the head.
Oh, okay. I'm going to kick the body very hard in the stomach.
As you do, you hear the slight sound of something kind of releasing the wind, and the smell around the area becomes kind of a little bit more prolific.
You know, Chantrell was always uptight. I'm glad to see he's
Tigrun would
finally
have loved
relaxing.
that.
Lord Calbridge looks back at you, though, Hawking, and goes, "Please, show me around. I have been dying to know what type of alcohol the orcs could provide around here. As you can imagine, my family's always interested, and now that we have good trading rights, if you wouldn't mind. Also, I brought my daughter along to meet with your head general back there, Lucius, so don't worry." As he pats you on the back, Hawking.
And we can arrange a meeting between the two. No problem.
Perfect. And if you wouldn't mind bringing your merchant with you, I have some deals I'd like to have him set up some trade routes and get some establishment going between the two lands. He looks back at Voldad.
Yes. Absolutely. He's a very close friend of mine.
Good, perfect. Join us, good sir, Pink Dragonborn. I welcome all at my table, and none are forgotten, as long as you can hold your booze. And if you can't, you'll be a great story to tell the men, as he chuckles.
I think I actually handle my ale pretty well.
Perfect.
I'd love to join you for this.
I need a drinking partner that's worthy of this gut, as he slams his stomach again with both hands, the echoing of the metal in the being heard in the distance.
Guess it's time to party Calbridge style, huh?
Yeah, as you guys start heading back up towards the castle, or back up towards the meeting hall.
Yeah.
The army kind of disperses out and starts taking their orders from some of the local lieutenants that have been set up. And you see as they kind of start to move about the town for a few moments, or over the next couple moments. But Pebble and Lucius, as you head deeper into the stronghold, it gets quiet, or into the barracks, it gets quieter and quieter as you go deeper and deeper underground. About 5 minutes of going just down goes by. Nothing but awkward silence as Ted continues to lead the way, torch in hand, as it's completely pitch black otherwise. And as you finally come to the bottom, you see these very dark and dank looking 2 cells. One seems to have a little girl inside of it that looks to have been, who looks to be starving near to death. You'd guess she's some sort of human, dark-skinned, and with big red eyes and a kind of almost like cat's-like eye with the slit in the center. It seems to widen as the light kind of envelops the area and you lot come into the room. She's wearing nothing but what looks to be the scattered remains of a pink dress that's been kind of torn apart, as she's very pale and she just sits in that one cell. But on the other cell, you see Chantrell's head on a stick, kind of looking, the eyes looking about, as it's kind of, you can hear the sounds of the head kind of trying to move, and almost as if it's trying to walk once more, a sort of phantom thing, as the body responds in a similar fashion as it just sits in that corner. And he kind of, Ted kind of walks up to the cell, fiddles with some keys that he pulls out, some dark black keys, and kind of turns the lock, and the sound kind of echoes throughout the entirety of the long hallway back up as he opens the door, and it creaks open as he pulls it open, and he kind of walks in and goes, "I have cast Speak with the Dead on Chantrell. You have only moments to ask him as many questions as you want answers to, and I'd keep them simple. Lucius, I figured you'd want a chance to question him further. Pebble, if you wouldn't mind just overseeing it, as I can't sense divine magic, unfortunately."
Yeah, I can do that, but what's with the kid?
He turns and looks at that and goes, "Something far more dangerous than anything this town can handle. Don't worry. I have taken care of it for the time being."
Yeah, just tell me about it later, I guess.
He kind of nods and kind of steps back out of the room and sits down in the chair as he watches.
And he walks away. I like whisper to Pebble, I'm like, he does know I'm a paladin, right?
Probably not.
Alright. I'll walk up to the head on a stick.
It kind of blinks twice and looks at you and doesn't say anything.
Why don't you just go ahead and explain why you were after me?
It takes a second, and it begins to, the mouth begins to move slightly, but no words come at first, and then it begins to speak once, finally, after a few seconds. And you hear it go, "You must ask questions that I can answer, otherwise they do not count." And you see a wry smile on the face.
Why were you after me?
It takes a minute. And you see it, the eyes kind of shift side to side and looks at Pebble, looks back at Lucius, and then seems to kind of look off in the distance for a moment. And by distance, I mean into the other wall of the cell. As it kind of starts to almost seems like it's kind of going back into a memory, and it goes, back in that town, I developed some gambling debts to a man I owed a lot of coin to. A man by the name of he takes a second, and you can kind of, it sounds like the lips start to smack, as if it's trying to like wet its lips, but yet nothing seems to be there. And it goes, he showed up, and he came collecting, and I couldn't pay. He told me that he'd kill me and anybody I cared about if I didn't do what he asked. He said he was looking and hunting a criminal, a man by the name of Lucius something Iron. That's all I recall. He told me he was a younger man, and that if I followed him to his home, I would be paid quite well. And after you made a deal with that demon, I see no disagreement with what I did. Your family deserved what it got in your death. And you see the voice suddenly goes quiet, and it starts to mumble something as if it's trying to continue, but it seemed it can't speak any further.
The spell wear off.
It didn't. The spell's still going.
Okay. What was their name?
The mumbling suddenly stops and it opens its mouth again. It goes. Its name was Bloodmane. Ludovic Bloodmane.
Where can I find him now?
If Ludwig Bloodmane is still alive, he's gone either to the far north to get the item he seeks, or he's gone to the lands of Abaddon to gain the allegiance of those creatures of the Voli.
I turn to the pebble. I think I've got everything I need.
I got 2 more questions.
So I want to clarify something before. He kept saying that we're following a demon, right?
Correct.
I guess I can ask that if we have 2 questions left.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, who's the demon we're supposedly following?
It looks at you and looks back at Lucius for a moment and goes, "You know who this demon is. You made the deal. You and so many others have made that deal." You get, from your understanding of how Speak with Dead works, you would know for a fact that if the corpse doesn't know the answer, it can't answer it.
Oh. Okay.
And remember one thing, without knowing so for examples of demons, if in the reference of what he's saying, if he is specifically meaning a demon, unless he knows its true name, he would not be able to mention its name that it's referring to. So if it has a cover name, it wouldn't be able to blow its cover.
Pebble's sitting here like, I haven't made any... I'm oathless. I haven't made any deals. Robert, we have 1 question left. What are you thinking? I don't... Pebble doesn't really have much to add.
Got 1 last question.
Were you working with anybody else we know?
The head kind of pauses for a moment, and you see it starts to panic slightly as it kind of looks side to side, and it begins to speak, and you can tell it's trying to stop itself as it speaks, but the words flow naturally as if it was in a normal conversation telling to one of its close friends or family members. And it goes, "The one who would replace the House of Windsor ordered us to take on this deed, and we believed he worked with Ludwig Bloodmane."
I'm marching off to talking.
As you start to march, it continues, and it says, "Besides that, the only other person we know of currently that was involved in this situation, and involved in the situations to come, there's a very, very powerful seer that knows what's coming, and they are attempting to stop it. I do not know their name. We were never given a name of any sort other than a nickname to call to them, a name that we believe was fake. They called themselves the Last Ones." And the head completely just suddenly stops talking, and you watch as the color seeps away, and the eyes close. And
I'll trail off after Pebble.
Okay. As you guys start heading up the stairs, sorry, what was that, Pebble?
I would say I'm speed marching.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to burn with how important this new enemy is.
As you start marching up as fast as you can, you see Tag kind of standing at the top of the stairway after a good couple minute walk. And Teg just looks up at you guys as you come up, or looks down at you guys as you come up. He goes, "Is there something I can be of assistance of? Did you learn anything of use?"
Found the real enemy. Need to warn Hawken.
Okay. I'll see you guys, I guess, later.
Yep. I'll explain more later.
Understood. It kind of turns and goes back to telling the men what to do. He just, as you guys come marching out, as you start marching up the main road, both of you at like a speed walk, you notice after a few seconds that both of you are being followed by someone down, like behind you, about 20 feet. And they're having a hard time keeping up as you see this like 4-foot tall figure, very round in figure, just kind of trying to jog, and you see they're getting winded. Their little beard is completely like soaked through. The little hair of a ponytail that they have, that where like the rest of their head is shaved just except for the little ponytail area that comes off, is all completely covered in sweat, and they're like trying to jog after the two very athletically inclined older gentlemen.
Do I know who this is?
You look back, you don't know who this could be. This looks like a dwarf, or it could be just a fat gnome, or maybe a fat halfling.
I'll keep walking. I'll like, can I help you?
My name is 1X. Please. Interview.
I'll help him.
He comes walking. And you see, he's in full merchant's attire, looks to be wearing the crest of Zarius, and looks to also be wearing a official little like badge carved out of wood that says World News, and it seems to glitter as you look at it. And below it, you see it says Ones, which is is Ones is his name. Ones Zarius. And he goes, oh my God, are you Lucius and Pebble Earthcrest?
Yes.
I'm
We are.
Lucius Firecrest, correct?
Yes.
Yes. I am a representative of the World News. Can we take a minute to breathe?
Yeah, we can give you a second.
Yeah.
Oh, he kind of leans over and kind of starts breathing really heavy as he stops and goes, I'm old. And by old, I mean I'm young. I'm apologies, let me introduce. I'm Ones Zarius. You can call me 1X, my friends do. I work for the World News as an interviewer. I'm Tenum's son. No, don't worry, I didn't have anything to do with his evil apocalypse world taking things. I just wanted to sell goods and learn how to be a merchant. And fuck this, there are a lot of walking and being a merchant. Ugh.
I knew he was Texan the moment I heard 1X. Fucking.
I'm looking for Hawk and Firecrest for a one-off interview on the current situation on what's coming. Do you know where he is, or do you have a moment to answer some questions?
We're heading over there right now.
Yeah, we could see if he'd be willing to talk to
And
you.
we can answer some questions on the way if you want.
I would appreciate it. Can we walk slowly?
Pebble will be careful also because he's very long, like he's very tall. I'll slow down my steps a lot.
He continues to fast walk to keep up even with the two. Because, if you don't mind, is it true that the Spirit Ragers had sworn fealty to Hawk and Firecrest in recent wares and helped you slay Queen Quenya in single combat?
Pebble kind of looks at Lucius like, Spirit Ragers?
I'm not sure I know what that is.
Our direct party were the only ones that killed the queen. No one else was there other than
We
what
have
was that? I don't think we got his name. It was a dwarf.
we have reported accounts from a couple of the orcs that were there after the effect. Lord Daka of the clan. I believe in common we just have it written as Spirit Ragers. There's and he kind of points to the word, and you read it says like Dakaron as he kind of has it smudged. And you're pretty sure that's not the proper word, but you kind of get the understanding of what he's pointing at.
Yeah.
And he goes, The Monsters 5, the elite unit that King Hawken Firecrest had acquired. He had supposedly trained up some legendary monsters to do his attack or silent stealth and attack. Is this not the case? As he continues to breathe heavy, trying to keep up.
If it is, we weren't told about it. But, something weird did happen after we killed the queen.
Yes.
Hawken works in secrets. It might be best for you to ask him those kind of questions.
That's fair. One last question, if you don't mind. Can you confirm, there is reports of a very small orc that was said to have managed to wrestle a great worm to the ground and shrink it. Do you have any comments or any knowledge on that situation?
I know nothing.
Yeah. No problem. All right. Last question I got for you two, if you don't mind. What's your personal opinions on the state of affairs of the Crested Kingdom? Where do you guys see the future of the kingdom going, and what do you think Hawken's next plans are to be expected?
I think it'll be a lovely place now that we've dealt with the orcs. I'd imagine we have some stabilizing to do.
He writes, okay, Pebble Earthcrest, fan of orc genocide. Check. And he looks over Lucius, and he looks and he goes, and your opinion, my good sir, as he completely ignores Pebble after that.
Can I see his writing in the notebook?
Yeah.
No comment.
He looks back at the Pebble
Lucius
and goes,
stands by and watches genocide happen.
He looks back at the Pebble and goes, so you're a fan of orc genocide. What? Tell me, good Pebble Earthcrest, what is your hatred of the orcs? Where do you think your hatred spawns from?
See, that's the trick. I just like a good fight. If they're strong enough to fight, I'll gladly kill it.
He writes that down. Okay. Enjoys killing people who are strong, whether innocent or not.
Damn right.
And he goes, and one last question as we continue. And again, I don't know why you people continue to walk so fast. Oh, and he goes, if you don't mind my asking, what do you think Hawken's gonna do next? What do you expect his next grand plan to be?
That I don't know. I'm more just here for, knowing how to fight. He doesn't really tell me his more secretive plans.
Okay. And he nods and he looks back over at Lucius, waits for a comment to see if he says anything. And if Lucius stays on mute, there's no comment as the jog continues. The silence speaks for itself. Belch to add on to it. Alright, as you continue kind of walking up to the thing, you finally come to the meeting hall, and he looks at both of you and kind of nods and goes, I'll wait out here, if you wouldn't mind letting me, your liege know I'm happy to interview whenever he needs. I'm gonna go find a well in the castle grounds, if you don't mind. He turns and starts waddling away. No worries.
Can I turn to the closest guard and just keep an eye on him?
Guard kind of looks at you and nods and kind of walks off. Starts to track him. You open the doors and you see Hawken is about 12 cups in to some sort of deep dark liquid alongside Voldan and the Lord of House Calbridge.
Singing some old Nord songs, are we?
Well, they joke and laugh, and you see as the four generals are standing in the corners just kind of watching. The one in gold armor seems kind of irritated watching the whole thing, as you can kind of see she's kind of standing at an angle, tapping her foot, as the three are having the greatest time. Hawken and Voldan, give me con saves. I'll do Calbridge's.
I would like to
16.
quickly walk up to Hawken and in Elvish, whisper in his ear, be like, world news here to talk to you.
Huh? I'll save my answer till DM tells me how drunk I am.
You watch as Lord Calbridge is definitely a little bit lost in his cups, a bit more. Hawken, you're feeling good. You're not gone. You're experienced enough with your drink to know how to drink slowly enough to make sure, and to drink a lot of water with whatever you're drinking. As you're kind of keeping a buzz and keeping the fun going, but definitely still keeping a sober mind, given the fact that you just watched a bunch of assassins infiltrate your city, kill your enemies, and just leave. So your paranoia is a little on the edge there. Voldan,
Alright.
you're a dragon. To be honest, the liquor's good. It's just not strong enough though to get you buzzed. It just tastes good to you, as you're having a good old time with the two Nords singing.
Alright.
Yeah. As Lucius runs in, or kind of charges over, or moves over, and whispers this into your ear. The Calvert kind of looks over at Lucius and goes, "My Lord Lucius, you're a good man. You look like you can drink. Please, join us and have a drink with my daughter."
Take my place, Lucius. Tapping out. You're up.
Well, there's
Calvert kind of leans over and grabs a hold of Lucius and tries to bring him in. Lucius, give me a strength
Time for
save.
talk later. I'm gonna.
what save strength?
Yeah.
15.
You get pulled in, and he just shoves a cup into your hand. And he goes, "Oh, tell me about your life, good man. You seem like a man who has plenty of stories to tell. Yeah, Pebble, get your butt in here. Let's have some good old war stories. I want to hear about your adventures over some drinks."
Before I leave, I want to check up on the generals, because I see they're concerned.
It's not your generals, it's his.
His general. Yeah, check
you
up
just
on
noticed
on
that the three that looked to be less experienced but older look to be more upset that they're not able to join in. And the fourth looks to be more staring at specifically Kelbridge with annoyance.
I guess I'll go up to them and just, say like, hey, generals, is there something wrong?
They immediately come to attention and shout, "No, sir."
All right, then. Carry on. And then I'll
They go back to standing.
Head out.
enemies. Okay.
I'll head out and go see if I can find this world news reporter.
Pebble, are you joining in with Calbridge and drinking, or are you going to try and stick with Hawken? Or do something else entirely?
Hawkins should be fine. Pebble will grab a drink and be like, "If anyone wants to drink, I can sober anybody up."
Okay. As you pass okay. Alright, Voldan. And Voldan, are you sticking with the party, or are you gonna go off do something else or follow Hawken?
I will stand up after giving Pebble the coin, and I will follow Hawken, but at a distance.
Okay. So as you kind of start to head out after a few minutes pass, heading out towards the gate, you see as Hawken kind of walking off. Hawken, the guards kind of greet you as you come out, and one of them you see is like standing in the center of the castle keep area, and there's this stubby looking, very sweaty dwarf who's sitting there like downing a bucket of water as he's continuing to reel it up, drink it, and throw it back down, and then continue repeating the process.
I'll give the soldier like a little pat on the back, like, "Thanks for looking after the guy. You could go."
The soldier nods and kind of turns and marches off. The dwarf looks up and goes, "Oh, my Lord, King Hawken. Let me introduce myself. I am Juanis Zarius of, formerly of the clan of Zarius. I am with the World News. I've come to interview today. If you are of the time, I interviewed your friends Lucius and Pebble earlier. If you don't mind, I just wanted to ask you a couple questions, get your honest feedback on your perspective of the world, and any messages you want to tell the world, kind of thing."
Let's go take a seat.
He nods and goes, "Oh, finally, someone who understands fat people." He kind of follows you off. You go to one of the side areas in front of the cave library where a bunch of tables have been already set out for people who are visiting and kind of using the library and sitting out in the nicer weather. Most of them are covered with some sort of parasol, and the tables themselves just being made of a simple wood. The kid kind of goes to the other side and sits down, and he goes, "Oh, thank you. Oh," and he goes, "We Zariuses aren't well known for our stamina. We're much better at mercantile business. A lot less running when it comes to, unless you're running from monsters. Oh, but thank you.
Valuable skill, nonetheless.
Yes. Thank you for taking a moment to sit down with me and talk to me, because we've been dying to get a question from you, or get some answers from you. So if you don't mind, my Lord King Hawken, you've come to kingship pretty recently, managing to supposedly be, at the very least, blamed for the assassination and genocide of many of people and specific political figures. Currently, I think your head count, just by your own capabilities, counts in these lands as 4 royalties, with 3 princes and a queen. And we've even recently had confirmation of that you formed a order called the Monstrous Five and sent them out as an elite unit. Is this true? And if so, what really spawned this kind of idea in your head to tame sentient monsters to fight for you like that? And why would you send them off to go to the old dwarven lands? Just out of curiosity, and I apologize. Yeah, feel free to let me know what your answers are here.
I have no connection to this supposed monstrous 5. Unless... Oh, I met a monster in the past, but it's not someone I hired, to say the least. What they're doing is on their own fruition, but they do seem like very capable people, and if they would like to work for me, by all means, my arms are open.
He nods and goes, "All right, I'll keep that in mind, and I'll let my boss know about that. Now that you've completely managed to have the Spirit Ragers swear fealty to you, and the remaining orcs that don't support Quenya or her local lord or her lords have all agreed to swear fealty to you. What do you plan to do with the local orc population now? Are you going to continue your genocide, or will you be welcoming any troops who are willing to fight for you?"
Something I stated before, and I'll state it again. Those who stand with me are welcome in my kingdom. But those who are against me, those people better watch out.
So, would you say in many cases any kingdom who refuses to swear fealty is against you, my liege?
No. Anyone who openly wants to take my kingdom, wants to destroy my lands, ruin everything I've worked for. Active aggression. Those are the people that I'm against.
He nods. All right, I only have 2 more questions. The first is, what is your response to the complete and utter genocide of the orcs in the city of the Northbridge that House Aez had laid siege to, and basically declared the complete destruction of all who were inside? From what I understand, they, in your name and on your orders, have slayed every orc down to even the youngest of children.
I know nothing of the situation, so I can't fully give my answer on this. Forgive me if I don't take anything at face value. I've recently been betrayed by a close advisor of mine.
That actually brings another question that I'll save for last. Now, one more question, and I don't know if your advisors have informed you as of yet. Did you know that the Toth Theocracy have fully declared you a heretic and have declared you as also one of their enemies, and therefore declared war on you? And do you have any response to that?
They will join the rest in hell.
He nods. And goes, and then lastly, I've just got to ask, why would you invite a human who is known for serving the Orc Queen specifically as one of her elite assassins, who used to serve next to some men like Ludwig Bloodmane, who are famously known for killing and slaughtering and hunting down blood hunters of all sorts to remove and get rid of the acts that are public now. How could you take in someone who is known for slaughtering innocents from any sort that looked at him wrong? It's even confirmed in one case that he cut down his own son who had dared to question him on the battlefield, and cut him down in cold blood with no reason. And yet you brought him on as one of your main trusted advisors. Do you have any comment to that?
I was deceived, and so was Lucius, who is also a blood hunter. If I had known of the caliber of person he was, I probably would have eliminated him on the spot. I might not be a good man, but I'm not a bad one either.
He puts away his little piece of his little notebook, and kind of sets it aside, and then takes the. You see him pull out the little vase and kind of closes it that he had in his pocket, and puts it back in his pocket. And he looks up at you and goes, I appreciate you taking a minute to talk to me about this. I'll make sure to let the boys back at home know about this. And I apologize. There will be a Breaking World news story that may not favor you, but that's why I'm here, is to gain the information for the follow-up. As he nods.
I understand. Thank you, kind sir.
If I may, just as a courtesy, I wish someone had given me back in the day. When I had my own troubles. Just as a heads up, your friend Chantrell has a lot more of a darker background than you'd imagine. It might be worth looking into. He may not be forever gone. And Onus looks at you and goes, and that's all I can tell you, really. I hope that you, I wish you the best of luck with your kingdom. And I truly hope that you manage to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve. As he looks at you and goes, I understand how hard it can be with being betrayed by family. And he smiles and looks at you and goes, but I'll be off. And he kind of begins to cast, and a dimension door pops up in front of him, and he kind of starts to walk through. And
farewell, Onus. Good luck to you.
As he hears that, he waves, and the dimension door shuts as he disappears.
I need to see if that Helly Princess is still here and kicking.
Alright. We'll come back to you momentarily, Hawken. Lucius, Pebble, and Voldan, as you lot are enjoying your drinks, Calbridge, kind of telling story after story about his youth, and how he didn't accomplish much other than a lot of hunting. A lot of boar hunts was most of his young days in combat. He keeps telling these random stories, and after a few moments, he kind of finally looks at Lucius and goes, I meant to introduce you to my daughter. I didn't think you were so old, to be honest, but it's okay. He turns and kind of looks over at the golden armored warrior, and he calls her over and goes, get your little ass over here. I'm tired of having you bore your eyes into me as I drink. And the woman kind of snorts at that and comes and sits down and just looks at the table, grabs one of the pitchers and starts drinking out of it. Doesn't say a word, just glares at the pitcher. And Calvert looks back over at Lucius and goes, she's not much to look at, but she can kill. She's gonna inherit all my lands. And as far as I'm concerned, she's the finest warrior I've raised. She fought along your liege in some of the Knoll Wars. She ain't one of the ones from his unit specifically, but she's claimed a few pelts. And don't worry, she'll be the one doing all the work anyways. So he kind of smiles and very heavy into his cups at this point, Lucius, as he's slurring his words and looking at you. And he kind of takes a second and looks back over at the Pebble and goes, you, tell me a story.
Roll for storytelling.
Pebble can start going on about his days fighting with the Scrofe.
Give me a performance.
Okay, not proficient. Let's see. That's a 23.
It's detailed. It's invigorating. The Calbridge and the daughter both seem really into it. You all now gain advantage on any history checks or information checks on Scrofe training.
Yeah.
Feel free to add that to your other notes, Albert Hawken. As Calbridge just continues to be entwined with the story.
Would you say, DM? I'm sorry, you cut out for me.
I said that everyone will get that except for Hawken as far as the advantage on checks that have to do with Scrofe training.
I heard.
Yeah, as you, though, Calbridge kind of turns back to Lucius and goes, "So, when can you marry my daughter?"
Do it for your lord!
I appreciate your offer, but
Listen, I'm old,
I'm
and I need
sir, I'm
someone
not
to
sure
take...
that's
Yeah,
your
I agree.
offer.
It is.
Yeah.
Tonight it is. And he claps his hands. Let's get us a priest. Your liege has a priest. You know what, Pebble? You're a man. You're a divine man. You know what? You marry him. I'll give you 100 gold pieces if you do it in the next hour. And you can see the daughter is blushing and just bright red with embarrassment. And he goes, "What do you think, Lucius? You'll get a castle, lands, I get to retire. All you gotta do is pump out some kids and call it good."
Lucius for the house!
again. It's not yours to offer.
What? I can't offer my own daughter? That's not how Nords work. You should know that.
Well, I mean, historically, sure, but
Listen, your lieges already agreed to the marriage. I'm sorry, this is happening whether you want to or not. Unless you can give me a better reason why that you shouldn't be married. For some reason, if you can't have kids, fine. You look fine to me. You know what, Pebble?
well,
you
I
look
had
like
one once before, but it
Pebble. You're a doctor. Go check him for me.
them and my former wife both got murdered, and here we are.
He turns to you.
DM,
Yes.
with how drunk he is, what are the odds I could command sleep him and he'll just pass out?
You don't know. You don't know anything about his stats.
Yeah, but with how drunk he is, would Pebble think he has a better shot?
I mean, you know, yeah, he'd be rolling at disadvantage with how drunk he is.
Oh, please don't do this.
Mm.
He could see it as an attack, Chastin.
Fine, I'll do this the other way, Hunter, just for you. God.
Cast fireball.
No. I'm not a wizard. Here, as a priest, completely lying, but let me go prepare the couple and tell them what we have to do for marriage, and I'll kind of lead them two off.
Perfect. This is what I like him. Where'd Voldan go?
It's just...
Where did my dragonborn friend go? He was gonna make me laugh. The guy stands up and goes, "Pebble, I'm entrusting this ceremony to you. You're a good man. Do well, and I'll reward you." And he turns and looks around and goes, "I'm gonna go find me a pink dragon." He starts walking, kind of teetering off as he walks back towards the.
Meanwhile, Valdan was sitting next to him the entire time.
Well, Dan's outside right now watching Hawken.
Yeah, no.
Pebble, once he's gone, just lets out a sigh like, "Ah, okay." Alright.
The woman takes her helmet off and she looks over at you, Lucius, and goes, "I'm a man."
Yeah.
So, we're not doing this, alright?
Yeah, no, I'm...
Cool. If you're good with that, I'm good with that. He looks over at Pebble and goes, "I'm gonna make this real clear. He's only got maybe 2 more years left. I'm just biding my time."
I was just trying to get you two out of the room.
No, I appreciate it. I caught that. That's why I've been drinking.
He's not a priest. Like,
I'm a paladin.
Worst case scenario, we make it look like it happened and we move on.
Bro, I'm a wizard. Trust me,
I
I can
totally
tell
do-
you're no priest.
I can totally do a fake wedding. I can bullshit my way through it.
No. In the lands of the Nords, technically it'd be valued if he thinks you're a priest. Technically, the way it works is that means that the marriage is sanctified, and we're not gonna go through with that because you have to. And he kind of looks at Lucius and gets kind of bright red again. Consummate the marriage as he turns back. Yes. So
Nope.
here's what's gonna happen. I do have a sister. She's 5. And I'm gonna guess, Lucius, you're a little old, and probably won't live long enough to at all be of any value to our house. So here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna say that I turned you down because I thought you were inept, and my father will buy it and he'll leave you alone. And then he's gonna try and marry me off to the next lord that comes around, maybe even Hawken. And the cycle will continue. You're the 15th suitor he's chosen, just because I'm above average looking. And this man is pretty. But the mustache kind of gives it away that it's a man, not a woman.
Maybe he got some dwarf blood. I don't know.
Yeah, as he and the gold armored gentleman now kind of looks at you and goes back at Pebble and Lucius and goes, "Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go try and find somewhere to hide so my father can't find me for the next 3 days we're in town. Just placate him with drink and stories. He's not bright." And he turns over to Pebble and he goes, "By the way, he has a thing on him. He's immune to most spells. Don't bother." And he kind of stands up and walks
I
off.
get to knock him out the old-fashioned way far more.
Can I direct him to some of the hidden taverns in town?
Yeah, he looks at you and goes, you know what? You won't see me the rest of the trip until, here." He goes out one of the kitchen, or goes into the kitchen, and you hear the window open. And the quiet. Few minutes.
And then a guillotine slam down.
But wouldn't that be one hell of an end?
But Hawken, as Voldan and Hawken, so Voldan, as you're kind of standing at the doorway talking with one of the guards, making it look like you're just kind of casual, you can see Hawken in the distance talking to the dwarf, or the chubby halfling, or the chubby gnome. You're not 100% sure at this point. It has a beard, but who knows what it could be. You hear the doors open, and you hear, "Where's my scaly friend?" Hey, wait. "Hawken, come here. Let's have a drink." And he kind of is walking off. "I'm looking for Voldan, and he's vanished somehow. I don't know where he went, but he said he was gonna make me laugh, and now he's vanished. Oh, also, my daughter is in the middle of marrying Lucius. Your friend Pebble is being the priest to sanctify it. Good man.
Oh, okay.
I like him."
That's interesting. Can I roll perception to see if I can actually just spot Voldan? Because how good
you
is he
don't
actually
have
hiding?
to roll perception. He's just standing there. Well,
once-
Voldan, are you trying to hide yourself?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna point.
Calbridge kind of looks at you and goes, "What are you pointing at?"
Voldan.
I cover my eyes.
He turns and goes, "Voldan! Come here, buddy. Let's go have a nice drink."
And now I'm out to go find the Helly Princess.
"Voldan, I have a story here. I want to know, is it true that dragons can fuck sheep?" Is the last thing you hear Hawken as you exit the castle keep.
So personal experience, I know, but a good buddy of mine, yeah, that's a story.
I want to hear all about. You know what? More drinks on me. Guard, get me drinks of alcohol that is strong enough for my dragonborn friend. I want to drink until he can't remember. The guard just looks at
Better be
Voldan
pretty
with
strong.
concern. Would you say Voldan?
I said it better be pretty strong.
The guard looks at you and goes, and just nods and sighs and turns and heads into the keep or into the meeting hall and goes down into the drinking area. Hawken, as you start charging off,
I will have one of the guards go grab the pebble, send him my way, just to, recent events. I want to make sure somebody's at least in the vicinity
Oh,
that I can trust.
as you tell one of the guards, they kind of start jogging back to the keep, and they go jogging in. And they look up, and as they come, they see Voldan talking to a very drunk Calbridge as the two are sitting down on one of the benches next to the forest. Voldan telling him an eloquent story. Calbridge completely enamored with Voldan, just engrossed into the story. Fully. Voldan, this is the first time you've had an audience like this in a long time. He seems genuinely interested in listening to and hanging on every word you're saying and telling him. But as the guard kind of goes jogging past and goes into the keep, you see, he kind of comes jogging and looks at Lucius, and Pebble and goes, Hawken has, required the services of, some bodyguards, and has requested, someone. And he looks over at Lucius and Pebble. One of y'all want to go, or both of y'all, as he looks about.
I got it.
Yeah, I'll go meet Hawken.
He nods and goes, alright, he's heading down the main road the last I saw. He didn't tell me anywhere else he was going. He just started jogging and said to go find him. Our king's isn't great with directions. I apologize. The goat turns and walks back out.
I'll stretch a little bit as I get up and start jogging.
Alright. The generals kind of headed back into the kitchen. You hear them starting to grab drinks and food. Lucius starts jogging after you, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Voldan, you're sitting here with this guy. He's talking to you. He's giving you every story, or he's listening to every story you're telling him. You see as Pebble and Lucius kind of go jogging off, and you're stuck with the drunk Calbridge. What would you like to do, or would you like to do anything?
Well, this is not the first time that this has actually happened in my lifetime, and it most definitely will not be the last. So, you know what? I'm gonna just get more into it. Try and add a little more pizzazz. Whether it's me, I don't know if actually this would actually do any help. Prestidigitation and then dancing lights. I honestly
just
don't know
in front
what I'm
of
trying to
you.
do. Yeah, whether it's trying to represent the people of the story, because I've
Okay.
actually never used this before.
So trying to get okay. Let me see. Let's see. Does prestidigitation? I'm just checking something.
I know.
Oh, you can make symbols.
Prestidigitation.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. Yeah, or illusionary images. Okay, yeah. So as you start kind of designing this story, he is just enamored watching as you're telling it, as it comes alive in a simplistic form of almost like a child's play or book, like pop-up book. And he's fully into it. What story are you gonna tell him?
Well, I will tell him the story of an old acquaintance now that I've lost, named Mulligan, who in fact did parlay in romantical dances with sheep.
He gets really into the story. As Pebble and Lucius, as you're jogging by, give me perception checks. Just to see if you
Hearing
spot-
based, I assume.
No, sight based in this situation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
3 for my plus
Smell
0.
that bad, Lucius. Jeez. It smells just as bad as everyone else
Well,
in
he's
this
at
party.
hearing.
I sound just as bad as
Oh.
everybody in this part.
There you go.
18.
18. And what'd you say? Oh, you have 3. Wow.
I have a plus 0. I just roll well usually for perception.
So yeah, Pebble, you completely jogging, focused on your task. You know it's gonna be difficult to find Hawken in this town. Lucius, with your cursed perception, unfortunately, for a moment you just eye out of the corner of your eye this eloquent little dragon dancing with this like sheep. And almost like a ballad. Voldan, why don't you describe the scene of what you design out?
So it's going to be I have the illusionary making the sheep appear somewhat similar size as the dragon. The dragon is going to look more on the copper side of colors, and he's doing a mix of salsa with the sheep. The sheep entirely looking not wanting to be in the situation, would rather just frolic around eating grass. The dragon occasionally whips him in the back to get him to stop fighting. And you know what, just for Lucius, before you end up losing sight of me, you will then see the dragon pin the sheep down.
PG-13, this is YouTube.
That's why I'm leaving it.
Fades to black.
I'm so
It
sorry,
fades to black.
Lucius, as you
Oh,
see this jogging in the corner here.
And, like, let's just be honest. That sheep was never the same after that.
But all of a sudden, you hear me go, "Oh God!" Oh.
You see, though, Calber just fully entwined with the story, like enamored with it. Also very, very drunk. As you lot start jogging down the main road, we're gonna first off, Hawken, where are you going to find the princess? You were never told where she was staying, that you can recall. You weren't given any directions, so where were you heading?
Well, I was gonna assume I was gonna head to a nicer part of town where, you know, like wherever the merchants. I mean, the town's kind of a mess right now, but I assume that she would have been placed in an area that was more decent than the rest. Either that or hold on, is there any guards around?
As you kind of go jogging about, you see a couple, but most are in Calbridge's design. But they continue walking by.
I guess I'll go up to them and ask them if there's any of troops of Firecrest around, because I need them to help me find something.
Oh man. As you take a few minutes, you eventually come across two guards that are in full plate. That seems to have a slight bluish color to it, but has the House of Firecrest marked on it. They're walking about, fully face covered, head to toe, in equipment. And they just kind of come to an immediate halt as you come walking by.
I have a question for you, soldiers.
You hear no response. They just continue to stand.
Do you happen to know where the Heli Princess is located, if she is still within this town?
You see both heads shake, almost in uniform now.
Wait, Tag!
The taller of the two guards takes his helmet off and goes, "Damn it! How did you know?"
I'm just that good.
I just have that gift sometimes. But Tag, I feel like you'd know. Come on.
You know, I was marching around with the troops to see if there were any more hidden orcs. Yeah, anyways, my liege, can I help? Is that... And you see as Pebble and Lucius are coming down the street, about a good half mile down. They can see you. They see you a lot as you're standing there.
Good, they finally arrived.
As they they finally catch up. Ted, kind of waiting patiently, looks and goes, "You needed something?"
I saw the most
yes.
horrifying thing.
Tag looks at you, goes, "Did Voldan tell you about the sheep story?"
I saw it in passing.
Oh, he didn't show the full story yet. Tag smiles. It's actually a really beautiful and loving tale about a very romantic nuance between a true with a true polymorph twist at the end. Quite interesting of a story. Voldan, though, he thinks it's funny to tell the more crude version, from my understanding.
The things I've seen that dragon do.
Ted just nods and goes, "Yes." Anyways,
Nonetheless,
May I be of assistance?
I'm trying to locate the Heli princess who came to this town. I know we've been pretty busy the past week or so,
My
I
liege,
think it's about
you
time I meet up with her.
you sent me a letter stating that you wanted her to meet you at the capital of the Citadel, I thought.
Capital of the Citadel, so where we just were?
No, he goes, Bolton Citadel, I believe, is what it's called. Well, what was called. You told me to send her there. You sent a. He pulls out a letter from one of his pockets or one of his bags and kind of pulls out, and you see the Firecrest sigil on it. He goes, "Dear asshole, who's in charge?" That wasn't very nice, by the way.
That wasn't me.
Please
brother.
send my future wife to me so I may seduce her in only the ways only a true PC can understand. You NPC piece of crap. Signed, Hawken Firecrest, Master Assassin, King of all Nords,
son of a bitch!
Yes!
and Conqueror of
yes me!
and Conqueror of Ohio. What's in... I thought it was weird, but you said
wife!
you mentioned it mentions as a PS to send her in her bridal gown and to be prepared to be married within the hour upon arrival. That was a day ago, my liege. I thought you two were already wed. Was that not why you invited Calbridge here to move the marriage with Lucius forward?
I didn't write that letter.
Oh, can you give the word? I can catch up right now.
And he goes, but my liege. Are you sure?
What?
You warned me about the orcs here. It even says, and he kind of opens the letter fully this time. And it says PSS, orcs coming, trying to kill you. Chantrell hates you.
But what the hell's Ohio? What's a PC? What's an NPC?
That's my liege. I thought this was some sort of spell language that you were sending me. I didn't know. I just took your orders and went with them. Good tip on the Chantrell thing. I wouldn't have expected him to make a move that fast.
I guess that's fair, but I think someone stole my identity.
Well, he did say that you were that you were at Bolton Citadel. I mean, you'd probably want to head there if you're gonna find him.
Pebble, catch up to the princess.
Hell
Fucking-
yeah. I
there's-
cast summon steed and I'm out of here.
There's something else we need to tell you.
Yeah,
Lord,
what's up?
oh,
Pebble's gone.
The person that was working with Chantrell was, well, your former house.
By the way, what steed are you summoning? Just out of curiosity.
I can summon a warhorse.
Okay.
And I get to pick, so it's a celestial warhorse.
Okay. The blue warhorse appears and Pebble just takes off at a top speed as Lucius explains this.
Alright, Lucius. Looks like we'll have to deal with that later. We gotta build up our
Is it?
newfound country first.
Teg takes a second and looks at both of you. Is it a little late to mention that I sent her through an arcane gate, not by foot? I was trying to mention that, but he kind of looks over, looks in the distance where Pebble's cloud is like kicking up on at top speed. He kind of summoned the horse a little too fast. I didn't.
The horse takes 10 minutes to summon, by the way.
It was an insta summon. I'm giving it to you. You had to go fast. I gave you fast.
Fair enough.
Tag, thank you for the new information. Could you arcane gate me and Lucius to Bolton Citadel?
Yeah, tomorrow. I'm out of. I don't have the ability to cast that high at this point for the rest of the day. Best I can do is dimension door you 500 feet.
I could use a rest.
Dimension door Lucius in front of Pebble. Near Pebble, if you can, to catch him. Don't want him to go too far.
Oh, I can.
no.
Oh, easy.
I know what I'm doing.
Teg smiles and looks over at Lucius. Goes, "Are you ready, my good sir?"
How am I gonna get back?
That's not my problem, as he claps his fingers and an arcane gate appears underneath Lucius's feet, and he immediately, you can either make a dex save to try and get out of it, or you can fall through.
Dex save.
Alright. Let's see.
Oof. 11.
You fall through, and find yourself suddenly, Pebble, your steed just suddenly gets heavier as something kind of falls onto right behind you, perfectly landing, and grabs hold of you.
Oh, you're
Lucius,
alive.
you finally,
Excellent.
you suddenly find yourself holding on to Pebble, about 500 feet away from you. And it was an arcane gate, apologies, I mentioned her.
My good sir, I didn't realize you were fine with men too.
We need to go back.
Nope.
What?
The horse is going faster.
I'm gonna ride through the night. I'm gonna tie myself to the horse.
We need to go back. Chantrell had more news.
Hey, you can go back.
Tell him the freaking truth. Why are you lying to him?
Can't go.
You say that she got teleported directly to Bolton Citadel, and that she's not a day out.
She got teleported to Bolton Citadel. She was not a day out.
Well, either
She's
way, I'll
there.
get there quick.
Oh my god. Alright.
Well, it looks like you're stuck with him for the time being.
As Pebble is continuing to go, Lucius, do you hold on, or are you just gonna jump off and walk back?
I'm just gonna fucking angrily fall off the horse or jump off the horse.
No time to waste. Tally ho!
As you tuck and roll, you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you fall to the ground. And as you kind of dusting yourself off, you watch Pebble continues at top speed going.
Look, it took me 2 days to get across the country. I can get to Bolton by tomorrow.
It's true. It's gonna take you half a day to walk back at this point, Lucius, it feels like, from the distance, but you got nowhere else to go but to start walking.
In the entire half day, I am just fucking grumbling, mumbling. Everybody's ears are burning.
So, Ted kind of goes back up with you, Hawken, rejoins you with Voldant and Calbridge, and enjoying more drinks in the center hall. Day goes on, kind of relaxing.
Someone's fucking impersonating me.
Drinks continue. About late around 9 p.m. at night, it was around roughly noon at that point when Pebble took off and Lucius ended up getting teleported. Lucius comes kind of crawling up into the the main hall again, where the guards kind of open the door. And Lucius, you're tired. You've been walking for 9 hours straight, all because you got teleported.
Lucius, he didn't come back with you, did he?
You're all idiots, and I just storm off towards my room.
How am I
Door
the idiot?
slammed.
It was a fair plan.
You
Get
find
him back.
your nice little feathered bed. It's royalty bed. The bed frame's real nice. It's a king-sized bed. Lucius, as you lay down, you are in in great comfort as you get to relax.
I also have another question. Is Samantha all right? Like she's doing good?
You haven't seen her since you left the meeting hall.
Samantha, my subordinate, not
I know.
Teresa.
You haven't
Oh.
seen her since you originally left the meeting hall when you went to go to attack the Orklands. Last thing you heard was when Teresa mentioned that
true.
she was last seen defending what looked to be like something of an orphanage or something like that.
Alright, I should go check up on that or the church. Well, I'll check on the orphanage, then the church.
As the group continues to drink, as you get up again to walk out, Calbridge looks at you and goes, "You should take Voldan with you." On second thought, no, Voldan, come drink with me more. He continues to pour more alcohol. Hawken, do you decide to take anybody, Voldan or Calbridge or anybody else with you?
No, by the way, how much time has enough time
It's
passed
9 p.m.
for a
at
long
this
rest?
point. It has
And
not been a
you-
long rest. You've been drinking and enjoying yourself with Calbridge.
Enough for a short rest then?
Nope, not unless you actively are resting. Unless you say, hey, I'm gonna go sleep or gonna go chill out, neither will count. Drinking and partying do not count.
All right, understandable. All right. I guess before I head out, then I'll just pump myself with the cure wounds just in case something bad happens.
Okay.
Well, that's minimum health. All right, that's fair.
As you head out into the cool night air, you can feel the chill as the wind blows. A slight sprinkle in the air that's almost ice chilling as far as it goes as it hits your skin. The clouds overhead continuing to let off a light mist. Now the hammering rain has stopped and the mud has kind of started to dry and freeze as it gets colder. Although you're midsummer or at the beginning of the summer, around this time period in the northern lands, it tends to get a lot colder for a lot of nations. And as you head out, it's into the chill biting cold. Where are you heading?
I'll hit up the orphanage first.
Okay. As you head into town, you remember hearing Samantha talk about something along the lines of a village or of the orphanage that she was helping out, and she called it an orphanage. It was more like an inn that got rebuilt and repurposed into a partial school, partial place for children without parents. And as you kind of head deep into town, there are people walking about doing their day-to-day, but not many. It's very mostly just soldiers kind of walking out. The city's kind of quiet and almost dead-like. Not many candles lit in windows. Not much happiness or partying can be heard. But a half hour goes by, and you finally come to the close end of the walls. You see for a moment as you turn and you see what was the orphanage completely burned down and destroyed. You see some soldiers kind of cleaning debris still. One of them is walking around with what looks to be some sort of wheelbarrow that has bodies in it that he's just kind of moving. As you come walking down, the building is completely in tatters. There are bodies scattered about. Most of the bodies in the wheelbarrow, as you look, are mostly orcs. You just see mostly green skin. And further in, you can see the inn it's in bad shape. But you don't see any signs of Samantha. You do see a lot of signs of burning, explosions, all throughout the building. But that's about it.
I guess I'll go up to one of the guards cleaning up and ask them if Samantha has, if they've seen her, she's been around here somewhere, looking for her.
The guard looks at you and goes, "Oh, no, Chantrell killed her first, my liege. She was, as you can see, the orphanage got firebombed with a bunch of spells. She held off 3 of them. None of the orphans or her survived. She is, we've got her buried already, so."
Understood. Carry on.
He nods and continues about his work. As you look about, the buildings around here all look like they've been through some hell. Damage, broken down, the quietness on the air. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Hawken?
I think Hawken's gonna go chill out in the church for the rest of the night.
Okay. As you head into the church just down the road, a very small little steeple that you find, it's completely run down, and this one is fully abandoned and has been since you took the city, as the people just haven't expanded out enough yet to reclaim the area. As you kind of go sit down in one of the pews, you see it's a little red carpet, pews on either side. The complete ceiling has completely caved in. There's a little lectern at the front, some candles that aren't lit that have been just kind of sitting there, and some statues of some various designs. And as you walk in and kind of take a seat, contemplating, it's quiet for a few moments. Things continue to be quiet, and then you hear someone open the door, and just kind of creaks open, and then as it creaks back closed, as you hear the iron handle kind of being forced on it, you hear the very light footsteps of someone either very skinny or very small come down the main way, and they come to sit next to on the pew off to the right of you on the other side of the carpet, and as you look over, you see it's just a little kid, little brown-haired boy, a little Nord, joy in his eyes, excitement that he's getting to see a warrior. As he kind of looks like he's waiting for you patiently to finish up whatever you're doing so he can ask you as many questions as physically possible.
What brings you here, young one?
Kid looks up and goes, "Are you Hawken Firecrest, the master assassin?"
That's what some people call me, yes.
"Oh, I'm a huge fan of yours. Samantha would tell us all the stories about you. She would tell us all these amazing tales about how you fought off evil giants, defeated the orcs who were trying to enslave people, stood for the good guys and protected the innocent. I'm a huge fan. I hope one day I can be as cool as you and learn how to use a cannon."
Well, kid, it seems that anybody that seems to want to follow me ends up dead some way or another. Are you sure you want to follow this path?
Kid looks up, he looks down for a second as if contemplating, and looks at you again and goes, "I think I'll make a good warrior one day. And plus, not everyone's dead that's followed you. Look at all the people that are alive around here. Look at all the people that have saved. All those humans that are no longer being wiped out by the Nords, or getting wiped out in the Nordic lands. All those vampires that are dead. All those everyone that's died hasn't necessarily been a bad thing. They've all been trying to achieve your goal. If you give up now, then and keep that mentality, then all you're saying is that they tried to achieve, and what they died for is worthless." He looks at you and goes, "In my opinion," as he kind of turns and looks back towards the front of the thing, kind of hands on the front pew, legs kind of dangling, as he kind of smiles and goes, "If you're not running into obstacles and things are going bad, you're not going the right way." As he smiles and says, "That's something that she used to tell us before she left."
Did she die well? Were you there?
He kind of you see a single tear run down his cheek as he turns to you and goes, "She died because I ran out trying to save a dog." And the tears start to really well up, and the kid looks like he's about to just break down, and he looks back forward and he goes, I saw a little dog that the orcs were tormenting and kicking around. I ran out to save it, and she ran out to save me when I got pinned down and they were threatening to kill me. And one of them came up in front of her, distracted her, and Chantrell came from behind and shot an arrow through her back. Thankfully, she got a fireball off before she passed away and killed the orcs that were beating on me. The worst part is he looks up and he goes, "The dog's dead." He died in the aftermath. And the kid just
You're a good kid.
He wipes away his tears and he looks at you and then kind of nods and looks forward and goes, "The world's cruel. We don't win unless we continue to go forward." And Ken kind of jumps off at that and kind of steps out into the middle of the hallway, looks you in the eyes, Hawken, and goes, "And if you give up, all this was for nothing." And he turns and walks off.
Come to the castle, young one. We'll make a warrior of you yet.
As you turn to say this, you look. There's no one there. And you take a second, and out of just a slight look at your eye, you see there's a little body wasted away in the corner of the church. And that is where we're going to end today's session. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow for some Monsters Monday. Take care. If I'm good at one thing, it's some